ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a fresh episode of Missin Curfew. I'm Shane O'Brien, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
That's my boy, William Scotty Updog. We got a great podcast for you. We're going to touch on the great one, signing with TNT. We haven't got into that yet. Goaltender Interference, which has been driving me fucking bonkers.
Bananas.
A segment called Hits. And then we're going to get into Vegas, baby, and Tea Times, presented to you by Lip Boomers. But first and foremost, that's my man, William Scotty Updog, Upshaw. Woo. Fast Bill.
Coming off a fresh 5-day bender this weekend.
Fuck, you did do. I went
5-dayer.
I told you, actually, I told Flowers going in because he asked me if he could stay at my house for the weekend. And I honestly was like,
you got that from him, did you?
Well, I did. He goes, he texted me, he said, do you want a roommate this weekend? And I said, Flowers, listen, man, I'm not going to party every day. Like, I'm going to go hard Friday and I'm going to go hard Sunday. And like, other than that, I know you're going to be having your dog. And like, I just don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I went golfing Thursday up in LA. Big money match.
What track? Right. What track did you play?
Played Lakeside.
Oh, it's supposed to be sick.
Played with the boss, man, JJ Dunham, and a couple of the boys. Huge money game, Obes, and it came down to the wire. Birdie on 18 and the Hammer Wolf. I won't even talk about the increments, but they were big. To a Friday golf game with you, with the boys, Big Canyon. Right into a fucking Game 7 Vegas Golden Knights show, live show at the house. We were a little pinned for that.
Oh, that was great.
A restaurant, typical weekend. Saturday, went up to Malibu, a little barbecue, a little crab legs on the beach. Sunday, back down for a day at the
Holy
Goose.
Fuck, you're all over the map.
And then Monday, I had a little barbecue. I did the burgers at the house. I did the smash burgers for, I don't know, there's 10 of us over there. We watched some games and had just a jolly old time.
That's a fucking Memorial Day weekend there. I got this IV before.
Fuck, my nose is itchy. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I think I got I got this IV on Friday, buddy. I woke up. I couldn't sleep like Thursday night, Friday morning, and I went and got this IV at the hydration room. Shout out to them if you're ever in Newport Beach.
Yeah, my boy Brett there.
Yeah,
good guy.
They're unreal. And they put this shit in it like it's called GABA. But anyways, I showed up. It's like a relaxation. So
it's
they
put mushrooms?
They put Toradol, a bunch of vitamins, B12, and then this GABA shot. But the first like 7 holes, I was like baked or stoned or out on Xanax. I Friday golf. Remember, I bladed a wedge over the green anyway. So we're going to get some IV set up for Vegas, baby.
Yeah. I actually have one tomorrow morning, bud.
You do?
I do. 9 a.m.
I'm going to have some set up for Saturday and Sunday.
In Vegas,
in Vegas.
All right, sweet.
All right, Updog, I'm glad you had a good weekend. That's impressive at your age. I know you're young in spirit, but that you can go 4 days and drive from LA back to Malibu, back to Newport.
Still get her up and still party 5 days in a row. Come on.
Updog, let's talk about the great one. We've talked about TNT and ESPN and how we want character guys to get involved. And you look at Shaq and Charles, those guys are Hall of Famers, and now they bring in the fucking great one, the greatest player of all time. You played for him. Do you think he's going to be good on TV? Is he going to have the whiskey face going, or how do you think the great one's going to do?
I think the great one's going to fit in nicely. I think it's a lot for the game to not have the greatest player of all time not on television. And just to have him involved in hockey. I think he was just too behind the scenes as a as one of the I guess whatever he was to
ambassador.
The owner,
the
ambassador to Daryl Gates up in Canada, but. We need his face in the game, and man, he's got a great view on the game. I mean, he obviously saw the game happen better than anyone for generations, right? And now he's even younger players still understand the just the passion that Wayne Gretzky kind of has around him and the aura he has. And my only thing is, I think he's got to have a couple cocktails on air, I think it's in his contract that he can.
He's going to keep the glass right here on it. There's going to have a little shelf for him when they go to commercial.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. So get him a little red wine. If he comes up every time and he's got the red jibs.
Is he a red wine guy or what's he?
No, he's like a vodka Perrier guy. Oh, that's his go-to. Like he'd come on the plane after the game. He'd have the Grey Goose, little Grey Goose bottle, and the Perrier's taped on 99 on the top of him. So that was his go-to.
Really?
That's
fucking
he's
awesome.
a legend.
That's NHL.
So it's just good. I think TNT stepped up and is at the forefront of trying to get the right talent around their game. And I think they should look no further than you and I sitting right across this desk.
I agree, but I mean, for like you said about the great one, every time I've seen him do an interview, it was typically like when he was in Canada with at an Edmonton Oilers game or talking about Connor McDavid, like the way he talks about stuff and the way he knows the game and the way he can just explain the situation. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. And I'm with you that I think, let him have a couple cocktails. We used to have a couple cocktails on the podcast. So we have to fucking bring that back. But I think it's a no-brainer. Let's get Rusty Cordell involved maybe too. That guy's a fucking beauty. Hey?
Sweet hair,
that
nice
guy
shades.
I saw a great picture of Rusty this weekend with one of his daughters from graduation.
Yeah.
He had his fucking hair going, glasses on. I'm like, that guy fucks.
And talk about a guy that has stories, right?
Yeah.
So you got to put it all together for national TV.
Yeah.
We do need to make hockey better, from a viewing standpoint. And I think NBC hasn't done the best job of it, especially when, you have 2 game ones a half hour apart from each other. And
tough.
It's every day, and it's on CNBC. It's like, who are these people talking? I can't stand it, and tough for you talk about bar owners, right? Like, Loop will text me, is this for real? Like, I'm sitting at our restaurant in Due West in New York, and these games are on at the same fucking time. Like, what is this? It's not perfect.
No, it's not perfect. And especially, I get it through the first round. There's 3 games a night, but they could have done a better job of spreading them out because obviously there's overtime games. So I'm flipping through each fucking game. I'm texting Cooley, like, how you watching all these games right now? Like, it's impossible unless you have 3 TVs set up. Like,
what's the difference in this playoff style format? Watching games per night, and like the NFL, if they have 2 games on, 2 playoff games on a day, you do not like crisscross them. Where, when the period's over, this game's going to
live look in and shit. I'm like,
stop it.
I agree. Shout out to Colby Armstrong though. They brought Colby in, and you know what, Army? I don't know you. I played against you a lot. I wanted to kill you many nights, but you're fucking good on TV.
Yeah,
at least he brings some humor.
Totally.
Right? Like, I've been watching, and I'm going to say it. No disrespect to Dominic Moore. I don't even know the guy. But he's like watching fucking paint dry. You know what I mean? Like, did he play hard?
That's giving him a compliment.
He was a great pro. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but come on, man.
Agree.
Like, but old Army, good on you.
Articulates well.
Yes.
He's played the game. He played it hard.
Yes, he did.
Totally. Talk about a guy that could fucking knock you out with a hit.
Loops used to say some fucking funny stuff about Army in Toronto. Like, Loops, he coming, he scratch. He's like, I'm back up in the old depressor tonight.
The press box, the depressor.
The depressor. So, Army, you're doing a good job. Dominic Moore, it's nothing personal. And there's a couple other guys. Keith Jones, I like Jonesy. Keep rocking and rolling. So to the great one, congratulations. Updog, we still got to tee it up with him. I never have. Rusty Cordell said he could hook it up, but
he
will. Moved for Sherwood, right?
He's actually in St. Louis right now, and rumor has it he's been teeing it up with some of the boys. Because the Blues fall on the tea times, GoodLife and Cannadips segment. But the Blues have been teeing it up with the great one. He's living in St. Louis, and I think his plan is to maybe move out to FLA at some point.
Smart. Get out of California. I guess Factor's joining. It's the course that Prong's a member at.
Where they had the
Old Warshire? Old
Warson.
It looks unreal.
Old Warson? Maybe that's right.
I know Prongs is a member there.
Let's look it up. I got
look it up.
iPad right here. Old Warson.
There's some good tracks in St. Louis, though.
Yeah, Old Warson Country Club. Yeah. Great club.
It looks unreal. Prongs is always doing videos from the fucking right rough where his ball is, but it looks like it's thick rough.
Yeah, and he does his live Insta look-ins, does he?
Yeah.
How's his game?
I think he's pretty good. I think he's like a 4 or something
All
like
right,
that.
Let's get Prongs. Let's fucking get him on Missin Greens or Missing Fairways.
Missing Fairways. Updog. So congrats to the great one. TNT, good move. You guys don't have our number. Look us up. Me and the Updog Missing Curfew. Uppy, I got to talk to you about goaltender interference. It's kind of died off a bit lately, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about it. I was on the power play with Cools, and I was going toe-to-toe with him and Steger, and there was a coach from the NHL that texted Cooley and was agreeing with me. Now, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's an absolute fucking beauty, and he was basically my point, Uppy, and you were a guy that went to the net. You have to reward guys for going to the blue paint come playoff time. Like, if you continue to go to the blue paint and I have a little toe in or a heel in and you take the goal away from me, I mean, we don't want to take away the battles in front of the net. And every time I see one of these interference calls up, I'm like, if I'm a forward, I'm going to stop going there.
Yeah, it's to me, we got away from it for so long. And yes, there's going to be a gray area and a discretionary area. And usually in the video, a ref will really be able to tell, is this guy interfering with the goalie? Is he like is he coming in and doing the Sean Avery and like elbowing him in the side of the face and his helmet pops off, or I tap his stick, or I tap the side of his leg. When you go into the blue paint, and there is a defenseman that is, if he is touching your body, there should be now like a gray area saying I have to consider that this defenseman is now engaging in battle. And that should eliminate like the toe cap in the crease, and that the goalie like can't move his leg. It's part of the game. All the goals that get scored in the NHL in the playoff time, you know, one of our Dave King, I think it was, or someone had this stat back in the day on playoff hockey, and how like 80% or 90% of goals in playoff hockey come from defensive shots, rebounds, second chances in front of the net, goals scored.
Yes,
it's hard hockey. Now, watching Vegas last week give away, I believe it was game 6, where, you know, earlier in the match, or if you've been watching playoff hockey so far, and I know Peter DeBoer has, there's a play, they're down 1-0, they score a goal, the goal gets called disallowed, and it's Wes McCauley, I believe, and watching Wes call it disallowed, I think in deep down Wes McCauley's eyes, he's like, I'm sorry, I got to call it this way. It's bullshit, but it's no goal. Foot was in the crease, right? You know how he spices up and does it. Peter DeBoer now has the opportunity to challenge, to make it 1-1, or to go down 1-0.
Giving them a power play.
Giving them a power play. There's 12 minutes left in the game. Yeah. They're down 1 goal. Had he been watching playoff hockey and seeing how bullshit it is, he should have known that this was no goal, and he should have just took his medicine, like chipping out of the trees when you have no fucking shot at the green. Take your medicine. You're down 1-0.
Punch it out.
You have a chance to close the series out and not bring it back for game 7. And lo and behold, he does it. They go down a man. It was obviously no goal. They go down a man. It was Tuck in front of the net. It was a joke. It was a fucking joke. It was a goal. And boom shakalaka, they're down 2-0, down 3-0, game over. And they got to go back and play in what could have been a deciding fucking match to a team that has a chance to win.
Absolutely.
Fucking A.
Boom shakalaka. That's like from NBA Jam back in the day. He's heating up. Boom shakalaka. Uppy, you're 100% right. And in Aves' case, just real quick, he posted on his Instagram years ago when he did the Broder thing. What a fucking beauty. But you make a great point. Pucks low to high, guys going to the net. Every time I watch games, especially, I'm betting on all of them, and teams that I have money on, when it goes low to high and they crash the net, you have a feeling that the puck could go in. And it's so tight checking out there that those are the only chances, unless there's a turnover or a breakaway or a real, let down in the defensive zone, which hasn't been happening a lot because there's good teams left. Shots from the point with traffic are how you score this time of year. And the NHL has put themselves in a bad situation already, because as we move forward, it's going to get harder and harder to score. And guys like yourself back in the day are going to continue to go that blue paint because they want to get rewarded.
Yeah. And it's making soft hockey. It's turning these game 7s and stuff into soft hockey. And we'll talk about it. The game 7 that was just played, one of the most iconic game 7s for two teams in Canada that just happened. And it was like, the fuck are these guys doing? Let's create something.
Yeah, that was...
Go do something. And look at the goal last night in the Tampa-Carolina game. Kaloran, just a fucking turnaround, shot at the point, traffic in front, goal scored. All of a sudden, Tampa, who's getting outworked, is now fucking up 1-0. Mm-hmm. Go to the net. Things happen when you're at the net. So
absolutely. And by the way, that Killorn is one of the most underrated guys in the National League.
I agree.
Like, he gets stopped. He's behind Stammer and Point and Kucherov.
His leadership skills too.
He is so fucking good. And that goal last night was heartbreak for me because I had the Hurricanes. But he kills penalties. He plays the power play. He's on there last minute. So he's one of the most underrated guys, and you make a great point. So to the NHL, reward these guys for going the blue paint. That's all we're saying. If they knock the goalie over, it's no goal. But if they're standing on top of the blue paint, it's fucking Stanley Cup playoff time. Reward these guys. So Up Dog, a segment brought to our good friends at Oura Rings, where mine's on my way. I can't wait. Hits. There's been lots of hits lately. There's been some games where there hasn't been hits. Carolina-Nashville was an unbelievable series. Kudos to both buildings. Nashville obviously has a soft spot in our hearts. Carolina, you're still rocking. This kid who I love, Jordan Martinook, he drilled Roman Josi with about 10 minutes to go in the third period in the corner. Clean hit. Unfortunately, Josi bangs his head off the glass and does not return. I don't know if Nashville Predators had the puck the rest of the game and ended up losing. To me, Uppy, that's why you have to finish your hits. You were a guy that finished your hits come playoff time. stuff like that, it adds up and can win you a series.
Yeah, you're right, Obes. I hate to, I don't want to like put me into this mix or talk about me in any which way.
No, but you used to finish your checks.
But Princey puts out the shift for me, which was this Game 7 against Chicago Blackhawks in a you know,
I remember
do or die St. Louis Chicago game, and when you have the chance to run around and buzz, like I think I hit Duncan Keith 3 times in this one shift.
Oh yeah,
that was my job. It was like go around and take advantage of every opportunity to make the other guy hurt. In a clean way. It's hockey, and it's playoff hockey, and it hurts to win in playoff hockey, Obes. You know that.
Yeah.
What Martinook did, clean, took the best player out of the game. Yes, and there's so many fans out there that want to see the best players, you know, be in the playoffs and be on TV. But hockey and the Stanley Cup is awarded to teams who best, you know, amplify. I don't know, whatever.
Amplify.
And but. Strength, endurance. No, like that best to have the example of. What the fuck? We're having struggles today. It's 5-day bender.
That's all right.
But you get through those pains. You find a way to get the bounces. You find the way to score the tight goals and get the overtime goals. Win those 1-0 goals. Find the way to make your goalie make the best stop or those timely saves.
Yeah.
It's no different with hitting, man.
It's so important
in a clean way, and we'll talk about when it becomes something that, you know, you got to stand up and fight after you hit in certain parts of playoff hockey. But in close games, when you fucking take out a guy, Obes, like they did, like Carolina did with Martinook in a pivotal Game 7, I think down a goal, tie it up, go to overtime, win it in your own barn. That's playoff hockey, man.
I'm telling you, that series was so tight that. And listen, the fourth line of Carolina, I don't know the other two guys' names, but this Martinook, who's a fucking great team guy. You see clips of him in the dressing room. He was the difference. He was the reason they won the series, in my opinion. Like without that Game 6 hit, and he ran around all series up. He put energy and forechecked and got on pucks. If they win that Game 6, and you know you've played in Game 7s, anything can happen. They got to go back to Carolina. For people out there, our point is, hitting is very important this time of year. You have to have guys in your team like Martinook that will finish their fucking check, that will make guys like, and listen, I love Roman Josi. He's a great defenseman, and that whole game he had the puck on his stick. And for Martinook to do that, boom, they tie it up. Boom, they win in overtime. Now they're getting worked by the Tampa Bay Lightning. But Uppy, for people out there, that's why you need hitting in playoff hockey.
It's
important.
It's important. I agree.
Yeah.
So I want to say that the fourth liners you're talking about are Cedric Paquette, who won a cup last year in Tampa, the little fucker, lefty shot, or Jesper Fast, who's also been.
There's another kid with
Warren Fogle.
Fogle's a good player too. He battles his bag off.
Martin Neckes.
That kid's sick.
He's sick. But I'm just looking at Martin.
Is there a guy with
fuck, our boy Vinny Trocheck went down last night. A pretty bad injury. I think looked like it was like a high ankle sprain.
Fuck, it was bad. So, Dog, another type of hit I want to talk to you about. It's different than the Martinook one. It's the Ryan Graves. This kid, listen, I've watched Colorado play a lot. He's a big part of their team. Defensively, on the PK, he's got a long active stick. I think he led the league in plus minus last year and this year. He's right up there. But his hit on Janmark in the second period when it's 4-0, what were your thoughts on that hit? I mean, we talked about it before. Tell our listeners what you thought about that. Like, I'll go first. I think if you hit a guy when it's 4-0, you got to keep your fucking head up for the rest of the game.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to hit a guy at 4-0. I'm going to hit him as hard as I can. In Game 1, for me, it's middle of the second period. You're in your own barn. If you're not finishing a check on a guy like Janmark, who just had an incredible series, had a hat trick, I think it's a clean hit, Obes. I think Janmark went down, and I don't think he finished the game. But to me, if you're Graves, that's your job. You need to know who you're playing against. You need to know that they have Ryan Reeves. They have, they got some guys that aren't going to take shit.
Yeah.
When the game gets out of hand, I don't think at 4-0 anyone's going to really do anything, but you need to keep your head up and realize that at some point they're going to come after you. They're not, they're embarrassing you.
Yeah.
Or you're embarrassing them. Fucking backwards here. But it's
sorry, fellas.
Like now it's like, okay, at what point do I stop and my goalie covers the puck and Ryan Reeves stands beside me? At what point is he gonna fucking grab me and face wash me and rip me down on the ice? you need to be ready. Now, Reeves, like it was semi-malicious. It was, I'm reading articles that it says like he ripped his hair out. Others that he's, put his knee on his head and he's bleeding, and it's pretty bad.
I mean, I was drunk with you at the Wild Goose, and all of a sudden I just saw his knee on his head. But now that I've seen it a couple times, but continue on.
So I think if he tackles him down and punches him in the face one time, he's probably not getting suspended 2 games. But it was a little like he did a little extra.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not warranted for 2 games, but it's Revo, and Revo's got in trouble before, and it's playoff hockey, and it was a retaliation, but mind you, you and I know it's coming. The NHL knows it's coming, but they'd like to see Revo not do it like that. To me, you still got to hit the guy. And we're talking about hitting. I don't think it changes. It's game 1. It's 4-0. You take out a fucking guy with a good hit.
It's actually it's a point by you that I didn't really think about until I talked to you this morning with our morning coffee. It's game 1.
It's game 1.
It's 4-0 in the second period. You have a job to do to hit a guy. You're right. You're right about that. I'm just saying, I used to have this conversation with Kessler and Burroughs in Vancouver. Me and BX said Hordichuk, and these guys would tell him, like, if you do stuff like that in the second, just be prepared for the third period that if we continue to be winning and it's near the end of the game, that, someone's going to come after you. And those guys, they knew it, they embraced it, and we had enough toughness to kind of protect them. So I agree with what you're saying, Uppy. It could be a long series. It doesn't look like it will be, but it could be. And my point is, if you're going to hit a guy like that in the corner and it does turn to 7-1, Graves, just stand up and fight Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
Seatbelt him, do whatever you want. Listen, I've seatbelted guys before, but you just answer the fucking bell.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself so you don't let the guy on top of you. So, Oura Rings segment, hits. We love it, Uppy. I think the fans love it. The buildings that are full every time there's a fucking hit, they're going crazy. So, good on you, boys. Keep them coming. Up Dog, another segment by our good friends at GoodLife, which we're both rocking today.
GoodLife,
I haven't got the fucking GoodLife socks. I'm not flexible enough to put my leg up.
Look at this. I got them too.
Do you got where they say them on there?
Watch this.
Look at that.
Let's see if I can get on.
Does it say GoodLife? Yeah.
They're the whiteies though. And fuck, you're right. Am I losing my flexibility? It's a chair I'm in. Sucks.
I know. I got the new Cadillac of chairs. We'll get you one. All right. But I figured I got you by about 80 pounds. I didn't think you need the big boy. But
all right, here we go.
GoodLife pool party Vegas, baby. First of all,
this segment.
Yeah, we will be in Vegas outside of T-Mobile Arena
Friday night
for a live pregame show at 5:00.
Yes, sir.
Me, the Up Dog, Broadway Jimmy Hayes,
Missin,
and
Curfew,
a couple
baby.
special guests I think we got coming, right?
We got a couple beauties joining us.
But
anytime we're going to Vegas, there's some beauties to tag along. For
if
sure.
Anyone's going to Vegas, especially you Avs fans, listen, I'm an Av alumni. Come on, come out and support us. Come by, say hi, ask some questions, make it more fun for us. But anyways, Vegas, baby, we'll be there. Uppy, game 1. I told you to hammer it. I told everybody at Big Canyon to hammer it. I wish I would have put my fucking house on the line because Vegas, you played in game 7 of the NHL. I never did. You take a deep breath, right? And then you got game 1. You got Colorado licking their fucking chops. What did you think? Is it a sign of things to come, Uppy, or tonight is game 2 here? We're recording on a Wednesday. Can you see Vegas winning game 2, or could this be done in 4 or 5?
Well, I bet him in 5, actually.
Did you really?
I throw it out there. I bet the Avs to win in 5. I think it's a great bet.
Sorry, pickup.
Plus 300.
We love you still.
Plus 300, I think.
Sounds
maybe
about
even
right.
more. Plus
Probably
350.
more than that, yeah.
Plus 350. I think it's a great bet.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, I just think and I've been going against the Avs when the topic comes up, Avs or Knights all year long. I was a Knights guy.
Yeah,
There wasn't anything to pick up or to Revo or whatever. It was just I loved the way the Knights have been throughout the course of their last 3 years. I think they've progressed. I think they've gotten better. Their goaltending was spectacular. I thought that's where the difference could have been. Head to head, but now what I'm seeing out of the Avalanche, Obi, this is some of the most dynamic hockey, fast hockey, best speed from a defensive core I've ever seen. I know that it's to me it's going to be a quick one. Now, I like what Peter DeBoer did in game 1.
Dude, it's gonna be a quick one now.
I like what he did in game 1. I like starting Leonard, and I like pretty much saying fuck it. It's one game. If we win this game with the Avs, sitting licking their chops, if we win this, it's just a God-given gift.
Yeah.
we're obviously going to run into a team that's going to be hot and hungry. So we'll absorb what we can, but just remember that it's a long series. Now they refresh. Fleury gets a 3-day break. He played a lot of hockey. He's seen a lot of pucks against Minnesota. That was a grind for them mentally and physically. Now, game 2, 2 days off, whole different atmosphere. To me, I think this game is tight. I think it's played tighter. I think it'd probably go under the posted total, 5.5. That's just me. I think Fleury will have a great game. And Vegas will look to kind of split this up and bring it back to Vegas with home ice. Now, Colorado is fucking good, man.
I know.
They're buzzing. They are good. They're buzzing. Buzzing, Jake Muzzin. Poor Jake Muzzin.
I know they needed him. We'll get to the Leafs here in
but I was just we're going into Vegas for what I think the Vegas Golden Knights will be down 2-0.
Yeah, it'll be a must win.
It's a must win, but it's going to be an epic barn.
Full capacity,
no masks.
No masks.
Fucking A.
No domers, no masks. Just go to Vegas. It's a free for all in Vegas.
It's a fuck fest.
I'll be real quick on the Leonard thing. The more I thought about it, and now hearing you talk, I get it. That's exactly what Pete DeBoer did. He kind of said, "Listen, Fleury just played 7 games. I thought that Leonard should have started game 6 and then went back to Fleury game 7, but whatever, it worked out for him." Shout out to Max Pacioretty, finally to play the fucking game 7. Finally,
what was going on.
I'm talking to Uppy, to you listeners out there, and I'm going, where is this Pacioretty? Like, I mean, you don't have too many years where you have a team like Vegas to win a Stanley Cup, right? Like, you made a great point a couple weeks ago or last week. Like, how many times do you go in the playoffs where you're the favorite? I never went in. I went into maybe the first round where we're the favorite, but second round, I was always the underdog. This team is one of the favorites. Like, so for him to come back and energize me in game 7, I'm looking for him to step up again tonight. Fleury will be better. I think it'll be 2-0 for game 3. I think that barn's going to be rocking. I'm going to be there getting drunk with you. And to anyone out there, come and join us out front of T-Mobile. And shout out to Shane Knighty, who will join us and has hooked us up a lot. Of Vegas guy, an absolute beauty. So that was our Good Life segment. Pool party, Vegas, baby. We'll see you there Friday night. Up dog. Cannadips segment, Lip Boomers, Tea Times. We did this last week. We got some more guys out there hitting the links.
Hitting them with some Cannadips in their lippy
fucking
boomers.
Lip Boomers. I got one in right now like I do every show and all day, every day. All I do is chew
I'll
these.
take a lip boomer.
All I do is chew this fucking stuff. It's great, though. And one of our guests coming on today, he's been on coming off a year-end bender, so we'll talk to this beauty. Tea Times. Real quickly, let's go through this. The last team I want to really dive into because we have another guest coming on that's a diehard Leafs fan. But Tea Times, baby. The Minnesota Wild are teeing it up. What did you think about, pretty good year for them. Your boy Dean Evison, shout out to him. Fucking guy looks like a bulldog back there.
Yes, sir. My junior coach.
KK97.
Krill the Thrill.
Krill the Thrill, great name for him. He's the type of guy they need, but I still think before you go, I think they need more scoring. I think you saw against Vegas, although they're a great defensive team. If I'm the offseason, I'm trying to get a little more, even more scoring in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think they're, Dumba kind of pissed us off there for a while.
Yeah, he did.
He plays hard, but he's
got lots of energy.
I like Spurgeon. I really like the way Spurgeon moves. If you watch him skate, actually, he's one of the best. He's like a figure skater out there. Not in a soft way.
No, his edges.
He is so good on his edges. Obi, I want to highlight what Ryan Hartman did this year in the playoffs. I think that guy is a guy you want on your team. He fights. He can score. He's a good dude. Tutu always told me, he's like, man, this Hartman reminds me of you when you were a kid.
Horny?
That's what Toots. Yeah. Horny? Throws both ways.
No, I love his game.
And he stepped up and scored a big goal in mini for, to push it to game 7. And the Zach Parise thing. I don't know if Zach Parise ends up coming back to. I think that ship has sailed. I think they need to move on. I think they'll look to.
How many more years does he have
I think
left?
he's got maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. At what, 8, 9?
Shit's up there. I'm sure his cap hit is around there. I don't know if his the exact payout is, but we can look it up. So you know what? There's some retooling that needs to go on there, but
big step for them, though.
Goaltending.
Holy
Talbot,
fuck.
awesome.
Unbelievable.
I was at training camp at Edmonton with him. He's a semi-different guy, but he's a competitor. He's in shape. I think he just battled a little bit of you know, the Edmonton or Alberta Blues when he was with Calgary, and now he's out of there. And
Bound to happen.
not like he
No
went
disrespect to
to
great province of Alberta.
Totally. But not that he went to anywhere nicer. He's in Minnesota.
Well, fuck, you know what? Minneapolis is actually sneaky fun.
Sneaky fun in the summer? Not in the winter.
I don't know. Shout out to Pavel Dimitri, God rest his soul. He played in Mini, and when I went in there with Vancouver my 2 years, he took us out to Minneapolis, and I guess maybe it's because we had Gabrick with us too, but let's just say we had the best table and the fucking a lot of blondes at the fucking table we were at, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, I used to go out with my liney, Kyle Brodziak. We used to have line meetings in Mini. We'd go into like the hipster neighborhoods, go watch concerts and have dinner. And
would you always stay in St. Paul though? They'd always make you stay in St. Paul, wouldn't they? At that St. Paul hotel, which was fucking junk. Would you ever get to stay in Minneapolis? We never did.
We used to stay at the W down there once or twice.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot.
That's a good bounce.
St. Paul Hotel is where the shit used to go down.
Yeah.
The walls were thin there, needless to say.
They were.
Let's just touch on the Zach Parise contract for one second.
It's gonna be a lot, isn't it?
He might gonna puke. Right now he's getting paid $8 million this year. You know. Next year, $6 million, 21-22. $2 million in 22-23, and then $1 million in 23-24, and $1 million in 24-25. Him and Ryan Suter signed these 11-year tickies, 13-year contracts for basically 100 sheets.
I know. First time I played against Sutsy
But he's a step behind now.
He is, and for that amount of money, obviously nobody's going to want him. But he played pretty good in the playoffs. He went to the front of the net. He got rewarded.
He did. That was a good goal in game 7.
I remember playing against Sutsy for the first time, and I was in Denver, and he just signed with Mini, and I was like, "Hey, Sutsy, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, Hobbs." I'm like, "Hey, you got a $100 bill falling out of your hockey pants there, bud." $100 million, Sutsy. I was like, "You fuck," or Sutsy, sorry. To Jared Spurgeon, shout out to him as well. When that kid first came in the league, man, I was like, "This kid's tiny. He's never gonna play." Yeah. He's a captain.
Defenseman,
he's played unbelievable.
Captain. Great job.
The boy you said, Hartman, he played great. If he could have got a few more early in the series, it might have been a little bit different. And to Billy Guerin, who I know Broadway loves, and we'll get touched to Broadway when he comes on with us. I mean, that team took a massive step this year. Yeah. Obviously, Kirill the Thrill was huge for them, but they're going to be right there again. And Minnesota's a great little hockey state, so good for them. Updog, the Nashville Predators. I'll go first. Dave Poyle. I was ripping them at the start of the, halfway through the year. I thought they were done, out of it. I mean, they battled for their coach Hines. So Dave, I guess you still got to know how to put the team together. And Matt Duchene. And listen, Dutchie, I don't think you're a bad kid. I think you're a nice guy. You turn too many fucking pucks over. I watched the whole fucking series. He does the same tight turn inside the blue line, turns it over, goes the other way. I still think he doesn't know how to win come playoff time. And I think if he hasn't learned by now, I don't know if he will. I thought Forsberg was good. I thought Johansson was good. I thought Yoshi was unbelievable. Ekholm, I mean, they got to resign that guy if they can.
Arvidsson.
And to Dutchie, listen, man, this is just my opinion. You got to still figure out how to make the right plays in playoff time. But you did play hard. And to Brad Richardson, man, I would have liked to see you in there more. But Nashville, the barn was rocking. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well said, Obes. I don't even think I need to say anything more.
Okay, Leafs.
Who?
Oh,
Canada.
Leafs.
Who?
How do you think their fucking DMs are looking right now?
Yeah.
I reached out to Jack Campbell. I don't know his number, so I had to DM him. I'm like, this guy's not going to look at his DMs for a fucking month probably. But I just said, hey, man, keep your head up.
Yeah.
He had like a 188 goals against average and a 923 save percentage.
It wasn't on him.
Goaltending wasn't the reason ups.
Well, it was the reason, but it was the other way.
Yeah. Carey fucking Price.
Look at what he did in these last 2 games. Look at the overtime in game 6, man. They didn't touch the puck. Montreal did not touch the puck.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they go down and they score a goal from, which was a screen goal on a turnover. And boom, game 7. And in these game 7s, man, that's why you need to put your foot down. You put your foot down on the gas. I don't want to say it the other way.
What?
When you have a chance to beat them in game 4, game 5, game 6, if you ever have a chance to on an elimination game in Toronto, you've had enough of them over the years that you cannot finish. You need to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
You can't wait to game 7s and all of a sudden there's this massive stage because you guys can't do it then either. All the rumblings now, it's like, who do we trade Marner for? The talk was one of the guys yesterday on the radio was talking about trading him for
Seth
Jones, and then him for fucking Eichel. And I'm like, who's going to trade Jack Eichel for
Eichel? I don't know, but Eichel ain't coming to TO either.
I wouldn't trade Jack Eichel for Marner.
No.
Jack Eichel's a fucking beast. you just can't go that long without any goal. I think it was 17 straight games, I don't think, with a goal.
Yeah, a playoff game, right?
Playoff game. You know,
so for the Leafs up here real quick, first of all, Freddie Anderson, I'm interested to see where he bounces back. I think he was a great Leaf. All I know is when Freddie went to Toronto, they were not a playoff team. Obviously, Austin Matthews has helped with that and Mitch Marner, but Freddie was a big part of getting the Leafs back to the playoffs. And Mitch Marner, if you're going to watch some playoff hockey, watch Braden Point play. Now, I'm not saying you could be Braden Point, but watch how he finishes his checks. Watch how he skates hard. I know, Uppy, if you don't have it in you.
That's a good point, Opes.
But Mitch Marner, if you want to have playoff success, you got to play with a little bit of fucking
Yeah,
I know if you don't have it in, it's hard, Uppy. I know, but if I'm him, I'm watching Braden Point and trying to pick up stuff from him.
It really has to change the way you feel about who is got to be your go-to guys come playoff time.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you know, you look at around the league and some of these superstars are superstars in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, it's like the game ramps up, the physical play ramps up. Things are, you know, turnovers. I just, like you just said, I watched Marner. I watched Marner turn the puck over in Game 7, and it's like it's in the back of your net.
Yeah,
it's like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He's not. You got to still protect the ball. You can't be like throwing interceptions. That's how. Ultimately, that's how you get beat. You don't want to get beat. You want to just. You can't beat yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, you want to get beat.
Yeah.
You don't want to beat yourself. And for me. Like the Matthews thing, Matthews heats up. Matthews can heat up and score goals, Obi. He battles along the wall. I love the way he played along the wall. He didn't have enough chances, but is that is that just an overall team thing? You can't put it on just like the guy that is your goal scoring. Like one thing I did notice, and I'll say this about Toronto, and it goes without saying, every time Matthews is on the ice, everyone on the ice tries to look for him. And they give up their own chances just to make sure Matthews gets the shot. Yeah. To me, you need to use him as a weapon of thinking everyone is going to look where he is on the ice. I have to take it upon me to shoot the puck more too. I didn't see that in anyone in the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. I didn't see someone go, you know, yes, Matthews is ready for a one-timer, but fuck, I have a breakaway. So take it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's their game plan. Their game plan worked. They played hard. They got great defensive. Like if you watch the way all the guys came back into the zone for Montreal, and Hitch was great at this, but 5 guys like below the goal line all the time to give your D options. Their D were fucking like skating the puck up like it was 5-on-0. The whole there was no pressure from Toronto.
No. I agree. And for the Montreal Canadiens, first of all, shout out to fucking Mark Stahl, Anderson, who I love, Perry, Gallagher. Did they produce as much as they would have liked? No, but they got it done at the end.
Totally.
Perry's got it done at the end. Anderson finished his checks. Gallagher, his face. You look at Gallagher's face at the end of the series, and you look at Mitch Marner's. Gallagher has fucking cuts and scratches all over here. Marner could do a photo shoot. Got to get your nose dirty.
Totally.
Kerfoot, you were terrible. I got to trade this Kerfoot guy. I mean, he was.
I kind of liked him in the Game 6, but
I think he's undersized. It's not what they need.
Yeah.
And for Thornton, Spezza, and Simmer, Spezza was unbelievable. He was one of their best players.
Yeah.
Jumbo, he tried his hardest, and for Simmer, I thought when they signed those guys, they would help him come playoff time. They just. Besides Spezza, they couldn't really get involved. They were trying. They didn't maybe get enough ice time. But
they didn't get enough ice time.
Yeah, it's just they didn't quite get going like I thought they would come.
And that's another thing is you can wear these guys, even though Obi, they might be a step behind, they still know how to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They still yes, they're gonna get beat up the ice sometimes, but you know, push come to shove, they know when to run guys. They know when to be in front of the net. They know when to make it hard on Weber and Edmondson and Petrie and they weren't able to grind those guys down enough.
I agree.
And shout out to Joel Edmondson, 5 Game 7 wins. I know.
He might be the new Mr. Game 7. Fuck, sorry, Justin.
5
Williams.
Game 7 wins. That's crazy. That's awesome.
He was good too.
Good for you. And Eddie, you were great. And you turned a couple pucks over early. But you fucking played hard in the back. Game 7, you were great. Edmondson was great. He made great passes, assists, a good turnover on Marner. Good for you, Eddie.
I had this conversation with my dad, Pitter, the other day, yesterday, I guess. And I talked about Weber, your boy Edmondson, Petrie, and who's the other guy they play with Webbs? Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Those top 4 guys are big, are solid. Did Webbs make spectacular plays? No. Did Petrie make spectacular plays? No. But they made it hard on them. They wore them down.
Yeah, man.
And that's a 7-game series, man. Like, I'll be honest. Where Toronto fucked up, in my opinion, was Game 5, they thought it was going to be easy. And Montreal came out and punched them in the face. And before they knew it, they lost that game. They came back. They lost that game. They lost Game 6. And then the Carey Price show took over. So, we got Rick Rowley coming on, a Canadian beauty that's a diehard Leaf fan that we'll see how he's doing. We'll see how the city's doing up there.
He's going to have some gold for us, isn't he?
I just think for the Leafs, man, watch Tampa play. Tampa had your problem. You know, they had early exits. Now they know that. You watch Tampa play. They play straight lines. They play physical. Palat, that guy finishes his checks. Coleman finishes his checks.
Palat is a beast.
They finish their fucking checks. Like, they know how to play. And the Leafs fans, I grew up a Dougie Gilmore, Wendell Clark guy. They'll get their time. Matthews is too good. Marner, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, it was tough up there. So, up dog, we got our Final Four no matter what. North versus West, Central versus East. So, I think whoever wins the North Division is probably not going to be Colorado.
Good luck, boys. Where are they going to play again?
Who do you
They're
like?
Playing in Buffalo?
I don't know, but who do you like in that North Division? Jets or Kings?
I'm hammering the Winnipeg Jets tonight. I think a well-rested Jets with, with the goaltending.
Hallebuck, he's kicking.
Yeah, to me, if we don't hammer the Winnipeg Jets tonight, we're sitting. We're not doing our part.
Yeah,
let's win some cash.
I'll take the Jets with you.
Let's go.
And then we'll get into the Central and East with our boy Broadway Jimmy Scoops. But coming up next, we got our third member of the line, Broadway
Scoopski.
Jimmy Scoops Hayes in the Parlay Cafe. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, our boy, the Parlay Cafe. Scoopsy, what's up, baby?
Boys, what's up? I mean, what a Friday night that we just had this past weekend. The boys are heading to Vegas, and I couldn't be happier, boys.
How fired up are you? I was texting with you yesterday because me and Uppy are, I don't know if scrambling's the word, but we're putting this together as we go on the fly here. Shout out to our boy Tom Riley. Got us some sick rooms at the Palazzo. And I text you, you're like, I land in Vegas at 9:55 a.m. I'm like, hey, I got to be the coach here. I didn't think I'd ever do it, but I got to tell you to pace yourself when you land. I got to tell you to pace yourself.
I was laughing my ass off when you guys were like, hey, yeah, we're trying to figure out flights. That game ended on Friday night. I had my flight booked at 12:30 that night. So I woke up Saturday. I already had a trip to Vegas. I was so fired up, boys.
Smart,
I can't wait.
man.
I'll be paced. We got to be professionals. We got a show coming on Friday, so I got to be ready to go.
Yeah, we got a Friday show at 5. And then we're going to probably do something Saturday.
Yeah,
right?
we got
From the hotel.
we got a special guest Saturday that wants to fire on
And
the boys.
then we're probably done. Well, I'm going to say it. We are done. And then, look out. Then we go, Broadway. Then we go.
Yeah, it's a little, shit. It's been a long time we've been at this thing. It's about time we had a little fun together.
I can't remember the last time I've been to Vegas. Was it Mayweather Pacquiao? Can't be. No,
No, you went in with Pick for a Knights game, but together,
that's right.
I think
Together,
together, that was me, you, Big Guy, Loops, Mac Daddy?
No, Mac.
Oh, just the four of us. I remember the epic pick we got at
I think
MGM.
that's the last time I've been in Vegas with you.
Well,
Which is
let's
probably-
let's go hit Sin City the right way, boys.
Which
Hey,
is probably the
This
reason
Plaza
why.
hotel's sick too. My brother we went a couple years ago for my brother-in-law's bachelor party, and Kev got it all dialed in when he was with the Rangers. So we're looking to have a good time here, boys.
It's National League, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. It sure
Well,
is.
Broadway, before we dive in, let's get your thoughts on me and Uppy touched on Vegas and Colorado game 1. We did a Good Life segment, Vegas baby pool party style. What were your thoughts on that game 1? And they play tonight. Can they bounce back, or are we going to see maybe a sweep in the Sin City?
Well, the first thing I was shocked about was the goaltending decision that Vegas made. I can't believe they don't go at Fleury. Leonard's a great goalie, but he hasn't played in a couple weeks. That's tough to throw him in there. But just watching that Colorado team, that top line in Makar, they are so dangerous. Like, I don't know, that could be the best line in hockey. We'll talk about it here soon. Boston has a line that's pretty good too, but man, that top line for for Colorado is no joke.
No joke, bro.
We had Johnny Michaels on last week, and he said the top 2 lines in Colorado when he were there were like Solani, Korea. I was like, holy fuck, okay, maybe not. But for a line, and that perfection line in Boston, but that line in Colorado, boys, I'm telling you, man, when they get on there, you hate to use the word unstoppable, but
well,
No,
Nathan
they are.
McKinnon's how do you stop that speed, that goal? Like, what do you do? Throw your stick at him?
that goal was so nasty. We were at the
That's-
Wild Goose. Remember, I looked at you like, holy fuck.
How do we get the tracker on him? The speed tracker. He was going like a fucking like the Derby horse.
They would have gave him a speeding ticket, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Like,
someone
slow down.
test. Someone test that guy.
Hey, slow down. Fuck, I'll give you a speeding ticket. That's what I would say to McKenna. I'd be like, hey, slow down, bud. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, fucking cops are up
There's a
there.
cop up here, bud. Big game tonight. And on the Leonard thing, Broadway, Updog figured DeBoer was like, hey, we'll chalk it up to we're going to probably lose game 1. Let's get Fleury some rest is what we were thinking over here.
Yeah, man, it was a quick turnaround, Jimmy. So
Yeah.
I figured that's game plan 101 is like, listen, throw this one in the basket. Let's get Leonard in there to fucking take some heat. If he gives us if he throws us an eggshell, we win the game. Fuck, let him run with it. Fleury though needed the rest. Come game 2, different attitude, regroup, get 2 days rest. Come in with like that fresh mind, even though you're down 1-0. Fuck it.
Yeah, but if Leonard wins that game, do you bench Fleury again? Like that's the
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Right.
Rest
Off
him.
goaltender. All right.
Fuck it.
I mean, it worked for the Islanders. It did. It just worked for the Islanders. I mean, I just thought it was kind of crazy, but I mean, the rest was there. 7-game series, but I don't know. I'm just curious to see if Vegas can bounce back. Like that's a shellacking. Like you got your asses kicked. They need a big bounce back game. There's gonna be a lot of doubt in that locker room.
I think it's going to be 2-0 Colorado on Friday. We're going to be there. The place is sold out. You don't have to wear your mask in Vegas, Broadway. It's going to be unbelievable. Let's touch on the Bruins and Islanders. You talk about the goaltending. Trotzy, I don't really know exactly what he's doing, but Varley played good in game 2. But talk about the Bees, man, and that building right now, Broadway, because I've seen the Garden rocking, but holy fuck, man, it's going.
Man, that game, I mean, that building is going nuts. This city is awesome. The moment, Memorial Day weekend, no mask in Boston again. And my father-in-law and my wife's family was at the game, and they said not one person in the building had the mask on, and it was insane, the energy at game 2. I just, like, you guys were talking about how Carolina's arena looks awesome. Boston's the best rink in the NHL right now.
Oh, it's fucking right. It could be. I'll tell you what, but this Nassau Coliseum tomorrow night is going to be fucking going too, because they're going to have 15,000 in there. Broadway, what's that one song they play at the game? Dropkick Murphy song.
Oh, shipping out to Boston.
Ship it out to Boston. Oh. Everyone had like 2 beers in their hand. It was just like fucking cheers. And I'm like, that is fucking Beantown, baby. They were fucking having a time.
Yeah, and then Pasternak getting a hat trick in game 1. You knew he was coming onto the scene hot. He I wouldn't say he's struggling, but he's a guy that is a huge difference maker. And that top line is just, I mean, like we just mentioned it, they're competing with that Colorado line. Marchand and Bergeron get themselves back into the game in game 2. And then they get, I mean, that was a kind of a cheesy play to end the game in overtime. But I mean, man, this series is going to be awesome. It kind of reminds me of the early Tampa, Florida series. It's starting to get a little chippy. Clutterbuck's running around. There's tons of energy on the ice and off the ice.
I watched game 2. I thought the Islanders outplayed them until the third period. I thought the second goal that Bergeron got deflected by a defenseman in front of the net. And then when they got the too many men on the ice, I was like, this is ending up in the back of the net. And Marchand did his thing. But a guy like Curtis Lassar and Jake DeBrusk, Nick Ritchie, I mean, these Boston guys, Broadway, are making the Islanders pay every time they go back for Biskies.
Every time. But I think that's a game plan on both. Like the depth guys on both teams are just running around. Like you see Clutterbuck, he's finishing McAvoy every chance he gets. And they're going to have to, because McAvoy he's the key piece in that back end, and you got to wear him down. And I mean, Clutterbuck had 10 hits in game 2, 7 in game 1. I mean, this guy he makes a big difference for a fourth line guy. But Charlie Coyle's been the guy in Boston who I told you guys at the start. He's a playoff guy, and he looks awesome right now.
He's been unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to take and then look at the teams that got ousted. They don't have guys that play like that you like feed off of, that your top guys see battling, and that it just feeds to their lineup. It's
so true though.
But yeah, you're right. Charlie Coyle, man, he went cuckoo there for the latter half of this season, and sure enough, come playoff time, steps it up. knows how to play.
Charlie
Pride Legs.
The other guy too that I thought finally kind of made an impact in the game was Barzal. I mean, he
was the best player on,
yet, but he was the unbelievable game too.
He was finally the Matt Barzal that I've been waiting to see, Hazy, and I was going to ask you about that. Great point. He had the puck on his stick the whole night, tight turns, inside the blue line. As a Bees guy, if you see that, you got to be a little concerned.
Yeah, 100%, because he was kind of slept through that first round, and for the Islanders to even have a chance, because after game one, I was like, whoa, the Bruins could take this in 4 games, but then he shows up in game 2, and that Islanders team is it's like a whole new confidence, because now they got him going, and he's eventually going to have to score some goals. I mean, he's an elite player. He's making big bucks, and I mean, he's only got 4 assists, but I think when he goes back tonight, when he plays in the Coliseum, he's going to have a lot more confidence in his game.
Well, they need him because the Islanders have a bunch of guys like Bailey and Bellevue. How do you say his name?
Bellevue.
Bellevue, yeah.
Yeah, the French guy. That fourth line. They have guys that can continue to get on you, but they don't have guys that can make separation and create a lot of plays for other guys. And when Barzal can do that, and you've been chirping Leo Komarov, but if Barzal plays like that, you could put anybody with him. I thought Eberle was better. I think this is going to be a long series, Broadway, and I like the Islanders in game 3. I took the Islanders to win the series, Broadway.
No, I do not think the Islanders will win, but there's some rumors that Tuukka Rask is playing a little injured. But I mean, if he's not healthy, the Bruins are in big trouble. But the biggest thing for me was Barzal, like you just said, the opportunities. Like their power play looked so much better in game 2 because that guy's handling the puck and he's making plays. And Kyle Palmieri he's making. I think I mentioned before, Lamoriello look great because he's playing awesome. He scores goals, big goals, goes to the net, and that's what he said. He had to get inside, get to the net more, and they did that in game 2, and that was a huge difference.
It's been a great series. It's going to continue to be a great series. Let's talk about Tampa, Carolina. You took the under last night, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Wow, what a fucking bet. What are your thoughts on this? I think we all know the answer to it, but I took Carolina last night. I thought they played great. They outshot them. It's hockey, right?
It's hockey,
Vasilevsky fucking stands on his head. What are your thoughts on this series, Scoopsy?
This is 2 great teams with some high offensive talent. It's just kind of been like a boring series. I mean, I just love seeing goals, and there's just not many goals being scored. And like for Carolina to win, you can't let that first goal go in. Like Tampa scores that goal, but I mean, I'm just curious to see if Carolina is going to be able to find a way to get on the inside of Tampa and get pucks past his Vasilevsky, because he's just going to if they're going to score 1 goal, they're not going to win this series.
And he can't even stand in the blue paint. We talked about that.
We talked about the blue paint.
He is a big guy, and he covers everything, man. Fuck. He is legit.
They had a couple chances last night. They had a 2-on-1 that was
the guy muffed it.
Yeah,
Muffer.
And then they had a couple chances in front. I mean, when you get your opportunities, you guys just know this more than me because you guys were forwards that actually scored goals. But you got to bear your chances. Like I watch games, Hazy, especially. I'm usually texting you and Uppy when it's going on, but when I got money on it, like if you miss a couple chances early or you're like, oh, I'm in one. Like, right? Like Tampa scores that first one, I'm like, I'm in one. You just kind of have a feeling as a guy that's got some cash on it or a coach or whatever, maybe. Now I get why the coaches can feel the momentum of the game up, dog.
Yeah, and to me, the Montreal-Toronto game 6 overtime, when Price just kept making all these saves and Toronto had the puck the whole time, and I'm like, this is trouble, man. This is trouble because Jack Campbell's sitting down there bored out of his fucking tree, and as soon as a guy gets a puck and comes down and shoots like a high-quality shot at him, there's a chance it goes in, and it's corn dogs. Sure enough.
That's exactly what happened.
But it also like deflates the whole team. Like, because I thought Carolina was actually controlling the game, and then you give up a goal, and it's like, what the fuck? Here we go again. How are we going to figure this out? And when you're struggling to score goals, that's not a good recipe for a victory.
Absolutely. And Carolina, we'll see what they're made of, but they're in tough 100%. Broadway Scoopsy, top titty, baby. You top titty. You beat us this week.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't the best performance for the 3 of us.
I know.
Maybe you just had the championship hangover. You got the victory, then you took a night off. But Uppy, I think you almost got dead last, which is almost impressive.
Well, did you see who I had? I took like Revo. I took my whole team was grinders. I'm like, this is going to be a low scoring match, and like either Revo or Courier is going to get the goal, and I'm going to just clean up.
Well, I was
walk my way to the championship.
I was laughing when I went and looked at it today. You took two guys that didn't even dress. I got to give a shout out,
baby. Come
my
on,
boy Joey Cremorosa. So he'll be pumped that you're supporting him.
You took Kremer. I play with Kremer. He's not in the NHL still, is he?
Yeah, he was. He played a couple games this year, but he wasn't playing in the playoffs.
I thought I was onto something.
Kremer, you know what? If he would have got in, he would have played hard. I can guarantee you that.
Totally, that's what I was going for. Guys that were going to go hard.
Yeah, he would have played hard.
But we got to give the kid Cam Litz the shutout, 97.65 points, and
he walked away with it.
Yeah, he basically went with an all Vegas lineup besides Zach Parise, and Zach Parise scored. But I mean, the performer to have this week was that Matthias Janmark, and he was the key ingredient for any of those teams in the top 5. And man, did he deliver that night!
Okay, I gotta vent. Thank you. I wanted to take the entire Vegas Golden Knight team. So I took Janmark. I had the whole fucking team of the guys I picked, and then I hit submit, and DraftKings says you're not allowed to take your whole squad off of one team.
So you took Janmark.
So I took Janmark off. And he gets a hat trick. So that's something I think we may have to, I guess it only happens when there's one game on, because no other way you would do that. But Broadway, I had him and I scratched him. Cost me.
So you would have got Obes. You would have had another
37
points. You still would have lost.
You still would have lost, but
I'm just saying. My point is, if to people out there, if they didn't know that, and there's only one game, you got to take somebody from the other squad, which will happen down the stretch here and into the Stanley Cup Finals. So it's something maybe we should talk to the boys at DraftKings about. Broadway is being able to load up on one team here down the stretch. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk to we got a kid coming on today. We'll talk to him about how he does his DraftKings.
Yeah,
but it's I don't know why you're not allowed to. Like, the one thing I want to ask, the kid that got second, he took 2 goalies. Like, I thought that was crazy, but I mean, he got him second place.
2 tennies.
Yeah, we got to figure out this captain spot, because it's like 1.5 times the points. So if you can put a big guy up there, like nobody had that Janmark in the top spot, so I can only imagine how many points he would have had.
Uppy, who'd you have for your captain? I had Revo.
He got suspended. Is that any good? No.
I'm like, I love you for many reasons. Putting Ryan Reeves as your captain here in a Game 7 is another one.
That's respect.
That's respect.
That's for my boy.
So the captain, the points are 2.5. Is that what you said, Scoopsy?
Yeah, like 1.5 more. Yeah, you get more points. Like, I had Fleury because the week before, the kid that won when we had the one game, he had a Hellebuck and he got tons of points. So I was trying to go with the goalie there. It backfired, but I mean, yeah, there's I guess there's a little bit of strategy trying to figure out who's going to get the most points that night. I mean, there is a little bit of luck involved, but you got to probably go with the guy that's going to consistently put up numbers.
I agree. So to our winner, congratulations. That was a good Game 7 to watch. Fuck, that was fun to watch at your pad up, dog. Broadway Parlay Cafe, Thursday night. It's Bruins, Islanders, Hurricanes, Lightning. Do you got one? Do you need time to think about it? What do you got?
I'm taking the Bruins money line.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to take under 5.5 in the Carolina Tampa as the parlay, because I just don't think there's going to be many goals scored. And last time I said that, it kind of backfired, so I might have to weigh me myself here. But I think the under in that series is going to be a key ingredient. That's the key word this week, ingredient.
Bruins money line, under 5.5 in the Lightning Carolina. I like that. That's probably right. I think, although I could see Tampa fucking busting loose at home, but the way the series has been.
You want my one lock of the week, though?
I want your lock. Give it to us.
Friday night, in Vegas, with us in the building. They are winning that game 100%.
I mean, I hope fucking Colorado wins tonight, and they're down, and Vegas is down 2-0. And Broadway, I'm gonna hammer Vegas Friday night. Hammer them with you.
Oh, I think that's gonna be huge. I mean, I hope they don't go down 2-0, but I don't know how they're gonna figure out this Colorado team.
I mean, if it's 1-1 though, I'll probably take Colorado in Game 3. That's my thinking, Broadway.
That's all right. You can still have a lock. I like that.
My
lock is the Winnipeg Jets tonight.
Ooh.
That's my lock.
Wow.
-130. Good odds. Grab it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hot.
And I'm going to say Thursday night that the Islanders win at home. I'm going against Scoopsy. Sorry, Broadway. I love you, but I'm going against you, baby.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, my thing is I have too much loyalty. Like, I had so much loyalty to the Flyers that fucked me. But the Bruins, I think, are a team I can stay loyal to, and they're not going to fuck me here.
Hey, Jimmy, how's your brother doing?
He's good. He just had a little minor surgery. He's hanging out in Philly. He's kind of pissed he hasn't been able to golf, so he's coming home in a couple weeks, just doing a little bit of rehab out there.
Nice. A couple of glasses of red wine, a couple of perk daddies.
Where's he a member? Old Sandwich?
Old Sandwich and Wollaston, yeah. You guys, when you guys come here, he'll take us to Old Sandwich. We're going to have
Do they have a good sando at Old Sandwich, or why Old Sandwich?
That's just the name of the town.
I thought
Sandwich is the town.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Like sandwich.
Just like you'd say sandwich, like peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sandwich.
Fucking, where are you playing today? Old Sandwich, boys. Come on over. I'll come up there and play Broadway.
They got one of the best practice facilities going. That place is like a golfer's dream. They have cabins that you can stay on there, and the clubhouse. They have the bar right in the men's locker room. You wouldn't leave. If that club was in my hometown of Milton, I don't know if my wife would stay with me because I would never leave that golf club.
Yeah, that's true. That's like us here.
That's why I'm not married. So, Scoopsy, you the man, baby. Parlay Cafe, top titty this week. The boys will be in Vegas. We got an absolute beauty, Rick Rowley, coming on to see how him and the fucking Leaf Station is dealing with Heartbreak Hotel.
Obi, Scoopsy, let's take a moment and talk about Oura. Oura Ring, boys, has changed my view on how I act before I go to bed. I got to be honest. I sit there sometimes looking at my, that second glass of wine, and I think, is it worth this glass of wine tonight? Because it is proven in my world that if I only have one glass of wine after dinner, that I have an incredible sleep. And that means that my readiness score on my Oura app and my sleep score, which I had an all-time score this weekend, boys, at 90. I had a 90 sleep score, which is incredible for me. But I sit back and I go, that one glass of wine is probably the right mode, because I wake up, I feel fresh. My activity the next day is done at higher levels. I just am charged up. I feel better. My mood is better. I feel like, I recharge, especially after a long Memorial Day weekend. I was able to sit there, boys, and I had an incredible time. So your rings are in the mail. Oura, we thank Oura for hooking the boys at Missin Curfew up with 3 rings to really tell our story, our sleep story. I'm excited to see what it does for you.
I'm excited for the mental and physical recovery, because there's times like I'm pretty consistent throughout the week. Like I go to bed 10:30 every fucking day during the week unless something really pops up. But for me, some mornings I feel really sluggish. Other mornings I feel great. Like I woke up last Friday morning feeling terrible, and it just didn't make sense to me. So I'm looking forward to getting all my information. Maybe it's what I'm eating the night before, or what I've been drinking. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, because I want to get that full recovery to wake up, feel my best, because there's no better feeling than when we wake up in the morning being like, hey, let's rock.
So, Obes, I got you the matte black ring, size 13.
Fucking
fella.
right.
That is coming in the mail. Scoopsy, on the other side in the East Coast, I got him a size 10. Not a big finger, but not a small finger. A size 10.
Your average finger.
Black silver. I think it's the black silver. That's the same one I wear. She's juice.
Oh, yeah. Can you open beer bottles with that? You got to be
That's the big guy. The big guy can open them with, I can open a beer bottle with pretty much anything. I wouldn't fuck with this.
I always see married guys using their wedding ring, and I was like, well, that's probably one positive.
You're like that. Yeah, totally. But both mental and physical recovery is key, boys, when it comes to staying productive. We all know that. Oura Ring is designed to provide accuracy and comfort without compromise. Wear this thing wherever you want. In the nightclub, might have to wear it in Vegas, at the pool party, wherever. Our Oura packs advance heart rate variability, temperature, activity, and sleep monitoring sensors into a convenient, non-evasive ring. The Oura Ring comes in 2 styles, 4 colors: silver black, stealth black, and the new limited edition heritage gold Oura Ring. From $2.99 to $3.99, you can give or get the gift of health by visiting auraring.com. And we thank Oura every day for waking up feeling fresh.
Oh, look at this beauty.
The Rick Rowley.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
What's up, fella?
Not too much. Great to see you boys fucking face to face.
It sure is. We just had Obi step in to have a piss, eh? He's getting old.
Oh, it's okay. No worries, man. No worries.
Hey, is that the Upshaw fucking hard to rub one out when you're no fucking hands?
I wore the chirp. I got some of these shirts made, so I definitely put the one that I fucking said about you on there.
Yeah, we got to get a couple of those. We'll send you some some MC stuff, and we'll rock your shit.
Fucking right, man. Looking forward to it. The chirps is kind of like, I guess, how it all started with me. Like they kind of blew up on the internet, so I made like a bunch of them. But I'd love for you guys to rip those things, man. That'd be fucking unreal.
Okay. We're getting ready to head to Vegas. We're heading to Vegas on Friday.
Oh, I know. I heard that you guys were talking about that, man. That's gonna be unreal.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
Here,
time.
Obes just put on his headset.
It's nice to see you didn't jump off your fucking balcony, bud.
Yeah, no, we had a girl in Toronto, like she's known as Chair Girl. She's fucking rocket too, and she chucked a chair off there, and that's what that video was like. I was about to just start hawking shit off there, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna do that. But she's like, yeah, she's like a model and shit. She's pretty hot, but yeah, no, I wasn't gonna do that.
What's her Instagram?
Are we rolling? Hold on. Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah, fucking right.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, Rowley's fired up.
I gotta find her, but yeah, she's hot.
That's great, buddy. So where do you live? Are you living downtown Toronto, or where are you at?
Yeah, I just moved downtown Toronto, actually right by the old Maple Leaf Gardens.
Fucking right. Isn't that a Whole
It's
Foods?
a fucking Sobeys now, isn't it?
Yeah, I get my fucking like chicken and shit from there. It's right by our house, like walking distance. So yeah, I know I got a nice place on Bay in Grosvenor, and yeah, it's nice downtown. Can't do anything right now though, which is fucked.
I was gonna say, is that club EFS still buzzing in Toronto? That was my favorite. That was my favorite pit stop when I visited that city.
Yeah. No, to be honest, man, like we had to stay at home order until it just keeps getting extended.
You're still on it, aren't you?
Yeah. So all I do, man, like honestly, I just grab my phone and then like maybe like a few vodka sodas. And I just listen to like hockey podcasts. Like that's all you can really do in Ontario, man.
I watch porn and I listen to hockey podcasts. It's fucking my cock is falling off.
Hey, so Rouse, we got to ask you, buddy, give us I followed you the whole playoffs, buddy. Your intermissions I'm stuck down here in the States, so I don't want to watch NHL and NBC intermission unless it's Armstrong and Jones. So I always watch your intermissions, but how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I don't know, boys. In all honesty, it's probably for the best that I stopped getting so juiced for these games. Like it was just too stressful. I wasn't even having fun. Like I was just getting real cunty every time I drank. And in all honesty, like game 7, like I just wish like I could have like gone to like a fucking rub and tug or something right after, but I couldn't do anything. So we're fucked. That's all I'll say about the Leafs.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Your video about when you're like, that fucking Jack Campbell, he's a good guy. I hit a rub and tug with him for sure. That was fucking funny. I laughed.
I felt so bad for Jackie watching his interview, and he's sitting there and he's getting all emotional, and I'm just like, this is not on you, man. Like he had better numbers than Pricey, and he's just a fucking stand-up guy, and it was just awful, man. Like Leafs Nation, this is like a fucking 18-wheeler, not even off a cliff, like right into a gas station. Like it was the worst epic collapse of them all.
Hey, Rick, what do the Leafs do now? Like, do you guys look to like move on from Mitch Marner? The kid's gone 17 straight playoff games without a goal. Like, are you ready to just ship him out of town or what?
I mean, okay, listen, I feel bad for saying this because he's a terrific hockey player, but no one's touching that contract with a fucking stripper pole, boys. Zero talks in, 17, 18 playoff games. The cap's staying the same. No, he's fucking staying right in Toronto. He's not going anywhere.
He's staying right at the brass rail. That's exactly. What he's
saying. And even Matthews too. Like honestly, like amazing hockey player, right? Like one of the best. But like throughout the year, right? How many highlight reel goals did he have? Just top titty in the playoffs. Couldn't even hit my fucking grandma's saggy titty, bud. It's just frustrating. No one. We can't. These contracts are immovable. We're stuck.
Hey, Rouse, you fucking beauty. What about a guy like Kerfoot, man? This guy, listen, I grew up in Port Hope, which is like an hour from Napanee. So I'm a Leafs fan too. This Kerfoot guy, man, like, I don't know. Can we get him out of town? Because I think he's a bit of a pussy.
Well, I mean, he's third line center. I mean, that trade with, Barry had a terrific year in Edmonton, but now we just look like we fucking lost that trade. So just add that to the list of trades we fucking butchered. And I don't know, man, unless you can ship him out to Seattle, you might try to throw a sweetener in there. But yeah, I don't know. But he did not play well for the boys, a lot like some of the others. But he is a beauty, though. Like, I'm not trying to chirp him.
No, that's okay. We're chirping him. You can chirp him, bud. It's all right. They just lost fucking a 3-1 lead in a game 7 at home. You can chirp him, bud. You deserve to.
And that game 7 too, right? Like the guys, like you just saw on the bench, nobody was talking to each other. Like, you know what I mean? No one's trying to amp each other up. Mitchie, some of those puck battles I saw that he wasn't running to. They knew that they were done. In all honesty, I had my biggest collapse, like meltdown on Saturday night, because it was that's when I do my fucking jersey and the shit can and all that stuff, because I just knew it was done there. You just knew, and they knew it too. No one wanted to say anything.
I love your Insta story. You're like, how come we always start trying when we're fucking losing the game?
That was it. I didn't understand. Even in the final game, I think we started, putting it on a bit, 9 minutes left, but at that point we're already fucking losing. So it's like, I don't understand it. I don't. And I was just like, I'm just glad that I got a couple of days off from it. I'm probably gonna try to check some of these other games out, see what, other hockey teams are fucking doing.
All I know is the Montreal fans and Canadians and Habs fans all over the world should be bending over and fucking taking Carey Price right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most frustrating part, is because they don't even fucking like they chirp Carey Price so much. I've heard Obi say like a million times on this podcast about the overpriced cartoon. How many times? But like they rag them out, and then as soon as, like, if they don't go through Winnipeg, they're gonna say the exact same thing. Fucking ship them out to Seattle. So it's just like, I also I don't like French fans at all. I think they're fucking huge. Like, honestly, pussies in general. I had a French guy messaging me, and he told me that he was going to come to Toronto and he was just going to goal me. Like, and he didn't even tell me where in the city. Like, he was just saying that he was coming to Toronto to
now he knows where you live.
Yeah, I guess I didn't do well with that, but he just he wanted, and I'm just like, didn't even set up like a fucking location, like with like Brian Burke and like Kevin Lowe at like a bar, and he just wanted to fight, and I just gave him the block hammer.
Hey, Rouse, talk to me about Kyle Dubas, buddy. What are your thoughts as a diehard Leaf fan on this nerdy looking guy?
Here's the thing about Dubas. Like, I kind of think he's a little bit like Kiefer. Like, I don't think any of those guys had the balls to do any, like, Dubas doesn't have the balls to fucking trade Mitch Marner, even if he could. And I don't think Keith, like, you see Trotz, that beauty fucking benched, or he made Barzal healthy scraps for the New York Islanders, right? Yeah. And you would never see Dubas do something like that. I think with those contract negotiations, I think the kids ran the show personally. I think Willie, Marner, Matthew, they knew they were getting paid, and Dubas would have gotten fucking his throat slit if he traded them, if they wanted to, if he didn't want to pay them. So he was backed in a corner. He didn't do anything. He built this team 4-4. It's $40 million. How are we supposed to do any flexibility? We can't re-sign Hyman. We can't re-sign Morgan Riley next year. We're fucked.
Yeah. What do you think is the number one priority the Leafs need this offseason? Like, they got to move these contracts, or they got to figure
besides you out? Behind the bench, Rouse. Besides you behind the bench, what do they need?
Hey, boys, fucking New Jerseys. Let's get these fucking. I think we're fucking cursed, bro. I don't know. I mean, as a team, like, I don't even know if it's more of like the team, just like the whole media. Like, we just got to stop hyping this fucking team up. Like, I I just gotta say, first off, like, I don't understand why, like, every couple of days I hear about Paul Marner talking about like, why do we care about what one of the players' dads think about him on the team? And Justin Bieber being friends with Austin Matthews, like, what? I think he's a bad influence on those kids. So, like, I think Bieber should just fuck off a little bit. So I don't know if it's, I mean, that is like, it's a culture thing there, but with the team, I honestly, Bud, your guess is as good as mine. It's unfortunate because Slippy Willie probably had the best playoffs out of all the 4 forwards, and he's probably the only one that could get dealt because his numbers is at least more manageable than the other fucking guys.
Yeah, Nylander was the best player they had.
He was. And
Spezza was, and he makes what, fucking $750K.
There's nothing wrong with that.
After escrow and tax, he's playing for free, basically, buds.
Yeah, like, boys, it would have been nice to see you guys fucking in there for the third period. The boys, I don't know, maybe fire him up. They need something going on.
What about because me and Uppy were, before we brought you on Broadway, we were talking like about physical hockey and like the way Tampa plays and like Carolina and these teams that are good. New York Islanders, Boston Bruins. Like, when you watch that Leafs series, granted there's no fans, so I'm going to cut them a bit of slack, which I thought was a joke, but Rouse, it was soft, man. There was no like hatred. It's Montreal, Toronto. Like, there was more hatred on fucking Instagram with you and some French fan than there was on the ice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that. Well, it was tough too because I kind of thought the reason like guys like Simmer and Bogosian were brought in were to start fucking chalking them, right? And the only fight we saw was that Foligno one where with Pears, right? Like, they just they're like, let's get it over it. And I have to agree. Like, I don't understand why these guys, there was no compete, there was no physicality, and I don't think we even really got out muscled either. Like, it was just we just didn't show up. So I don't know how you address that, like getting, fuck, I don't know. I would love Tommy Wilson though.
What would you give up to get Tom Wilson?
Marner.
I would look at like one of the core guys for Marner. I don't know if that Washington got their own problems though, because they got to re-sign Ovi. Like, they don't really have much cap space. But if you could work something in to get Tommy Wilson, someone like that, just to fucking get it going,
that would be epic.
Oh yeah,
Wilson for Marner. Straight up, just take the cash off the top for the Leafs. They need it.
What's Wilson make? 6?
No, he's making. I would say he's making mid-5s.
So it would have to be Marner and somebody else because Marner's making 10 bananas.
Not as savvy as Jimmy Scoops, but he's like 5.5, and for Wilson, and Marner's like fucking 11 bananas, just under.
So take Marner and Kerfoot, throw Kerfoot in there. I want that guy fucking shipped out of town sooner than later, and maybe something like that.
I think you go Wilson and a first rounder for Marner.
Wow.
Fuck, I'd do that in a heartbeat, boys.
I think lots of Leafs fans would do that. As a fucking Leaf fan, I would do that for sure. Maybe we'll get Willie on and see what he thinks about that.
Yeah, but it's just the I don't know. They talk so much about the culture and stuff, but I don't see where you go from here. Like, I hate to say if there's Leafs fans listening, but we're fucked. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, at least the Blue Jays are playing well, but I saw you bring out your Blue Jays jersey yesterday. That a boy, Vladdy Guerrero's breaking.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna take a bit of a break from the boys a little bit, like the Leafs, and catch some more fucking Jays. And I don't know. I think I might watch some soccer. My girlfriend's from Brazil, so I might catch some fucking soccer matches. It's kind of a
Toronto
soft sport.
FC.
Yeah, exactly, boys. Just stay away from the boys for a little bit. I need some time off.
Hey, one last thing about hockey before we get into your comedy stuff you do. But hey, what about the Ottawa Senators? Are you worried about them next year? Because I know you're always ripping their fans on your social media. They got a good team, dude. They could be coming for the Leafs, bud.
Yeah, that was my thought a few months ago. Where he fucking said that they're going to be better than the Leafs in like 2 to 3 years, and I don't know, man. At this point, I'm like, that might actually happen. I just chirp Sens fans because I'm just like, but your arena is like fucking half a pack of darts out of town. Like, it's like fucking 40 minutes from the city, and you guys only get like 5,000 fans in Ottawa like every game. That's the only reason why I cheer them. They got a great team, and you know what? I don't know. The divisions are going to go back, eh? They're not going to stay in the Canadian one, so they're probably going to fucking be better than us. In all honesty, we're dog shit.
No, hey, listen, we hate that rink being out in Canada, by the way, man. We would always go to Ottawa being like, fuck, we got to stay way out there. It was brutal.
Impossible.
What's that brutal hotel we stayed at?
I don't know. It was in Canada. It was bad.
That place.
Anything
sucked.
to do out in Canada, eh?
There's nothing to do out there.
Yeah.
Go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Like Kelsey's or something.
Yeah, that's about it, buds, is going to Kelsey's.
What are you drinking there, Ralph?
What do you got?
What's in the cup, bud?
Oh, no, just coffee. I have to go pick my girl up from work, so I'm just doing coffee today.
How'd you meet your Brazilian girlfriend? Let's talk about that. Where did you go? Where'd you meet her?
I just met her through, I think it was like Hinge.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Our boy Flowers does some work on Hinge.
Yeah, no, I've heard. I heard he cleans up pretty nicely. But yeah, I just met her up on there, and yeah, she supports me. She usually films my videos and sees like some of my freakouts and shit like that. So she's very supportive.
Yeah, hey, you're a beauty. What about your stand-up comedy? I know the lockdown in Toronto. Are you going to be doing anything this summer that people could see you, or if I'm home, I could come fucking heckle you from the crowd? Because I'd love to heckle you if I could.
Well, it sucks because right before the pandemic hit, I was actually going to go to New York City for the first time to do stand-up comedy because, I've toured here in Canada, and I got to tell you this, it's an all-time story. I actually was, just before the pandemic hit, I was doing comedy shows at like swingers clubs in Toronto.
Did you have your pineapple? Isn't that the sign of the swinger, the pineapple?
No, boys. Like just like clubs where like couples just show up and they throw their keys into a bowl and see who goes home with who.
No way.
Yeah. Those were like paid gigs, and we had one right in Toronto. And I actually did a gig at a swingers convention, and I'm not even kidding. It was clothing optional. So literally couples were showing up, and like some of them were just like straight up just naked, like twigs and berries hanging out. And during like shows, they tell you, if you're nervous, you're supposed to like picture the audience naked. It's like, fuck, it's kind of hard to do that.
Fuck, they are naked.
Yeah, and I swear to God, in the middle of one of my sets, like two couples started like fucking hooking up. And originally I was like, should I just try to go through my like set? I was like, I think I just got to adjust it. So I just stopped my joke. And then they just started like basically like fucking like right in the middle of the set. And it's, as a comedian, you just want to make people like laugh a lot. But if you're like making them smash, then I guess you're doing something right. So, but yeah, I toured a little bit with like Yuck Yucks and it's a comedy chain in Canada, and started going to like Alberta and British Columbia and stuff like that. So the plan is to get back to the States and hopefully use my online following as leverage to, get some more gigs.
Oh, you got the boys. You got the boys crying in the studio here. That's a first for us. So, hey, you're a beauty. What's your podcast name again?
Oh, it's the Beauty Sauce.
Beauty Sauce. Fucking rights, buddy.
Hell yeah, Ralph.
Hey, I'll be home.
You guys.
I'm coming home in August, so I'll hit you up and we'll go out and get fucked up in Toronto. Hopefully by then we'll be able to go to a bar or something, maybe a rub and tuck.
Boys, I love it. And when I head out to Cali next, I'll make a trip out to Hall Pass Media.
Absolutely, buddy.
You're damn right.
We appreciate your help, buddy. Keep her going. You're a fucking beauty.
Thanks, boys.
See you, fella.
Missin Curfew, fellas, Obes.
Here we
Jimmy
go.
Scoopski. The second round is in full swing, and the action increases from game to game. This is where contenders are separated from the pretenders, Jimmy Scoops. To give you some skin in the game, DraftKings will be offering free-to-play pools every day of the basketball playoffs, offering players a free shot at up to $10,000 in total prizes. That's up to $10,000, Obe Dizzle. I haven't called you that before.
I love it.
$10,000 in total prizes up for grabs each day. The best part of this, boys, is it's free to play.
If it's free, it's for me, up dog.
Now.
DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to enter. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, and choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. All you have to do is answer a handful of questions around what you think is going to happen during that day's basketball games and track your results throughout the evening. Questions will range from which team will hit the most threes to which team will score first. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience, Scoopsy.
Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use promo code CurfewKings when you sign up to get your free shot at up to $10,000 in total prizes every day of the basketball playoffs. Head to DraftKings Pools page to get your shot at huge cash prizes. That's promo code CurfewKings for a limited time only at DraftKings.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for full details.
All right, welcome back to Missin Curfew, Up Dog, Broadway.
The big fella.
One of my favorites. I met this fucking punk when he was fucking probably 19 years old. I was in San Antonio down there, and I was looking for a guy to hang out with, and this was my boy, MacKenzie Weegar.
How we doing, Obi? It's good to see you, and thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming. I'm so proud of everything you did this year. Obviously, we'll get into that. But first and foremost, how's the year-end bender? Is it finally over?
Yeah, thank God it's over. I've had a few days in bed here to realize that I'm getting old now, so I got to take it easy. But we definitely had our fun, and I always look forward to the year-end bender. It's always a good time.
Are you taking a page out of O'Brien's book where after a good bender you lay on the couch for like 2 days?
Yeah. He showed me all the moves, and he showed me everything. So. Yeah,
that's good.
I've had a chance to really sit on the couch and watch some playoff hockey.
I've seen the way you sauce the puck back and forth D to D, so I know you learned something from Obi.
Yeah, I haven't mastered the backhand sauce like
the backhand sauce.
But yeah, but the forehand's not bad.
Weegsy, without getting into too much details, what were you guys able to do for your year-end bender? Because it's something we've talked about all year on this podcast. Like what? And obviously Florida, you guys have been open the whole year, but what do you guys get up to?
We went to Komodo in Miami to that. It's like a Japanese sushi restaurant. It's wicked. And then and then we just kind of took it out from there. You know how it is. Some of the guys kind of sneak away. The married guys kind of get out of there, and then some of the younger guys, we stay out a little bit longer and see where the night takes us, and what happens after that kind of hangs out there. But
I want to know, what time did you leave 11?
Oh, my favorite place.
Yeah, 11. That place is pretty elite. So we were there. The sun was up. Let's just say that.
The sun's always up. You know you're having a good time when the sun's up.
I've never been to 11, buddy. You beat me there, you fucker.
I wish you were there.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Your credit card would have been down. That's for fucking sure. I could tell you that, bud.
Yeah, I owe you enough, so I don't mind spending it on you.
Hey, Weegs, first off, I want to, A, thank you for coming on the show. B, hell of a year. The Panthers, what you guys did, you up top of your division, you played a hard-fought battle, and we'll get into that with Tampa. But for you personally, man, you had a great year. Eki comes down with an injury, a shitty one. Put you guys really in a spot where some guys need to step up. And on this podcast, we always talk about, giving younger guys the opportunity when a bigger guy goes down. You really stepped up and played well, tied for even strength points on your team. Just give us a little bit about, that little extra responsibility you had and what that was like for you this year.
Oh, I appreciate the nice words, Uppy. And obviously, thanks for having me on the show. But, like you said, everyone kind of stepped up this year. We weren't really sure what kind of team we had at the beginning of the year, with the new organization and some new faces. But, I could go down the list on all the new guys. Everybody kind of stepped up. And obviously, a bit of an unfortunate injury for Eki. He was having a career year and, one of those Norris Trophy years. And, even if he was there, I still think that him and I would have still had a pretty good year, maybe even better. But I think I kind of just took it personally. Everyone kind of thought that, I was riding on Eki's coattails and I wouldn't be the same player if he wasn't beside me. And, I just kind of wanted to make it personal on myself that I could kind of step up and, perform at a high level and show people that, I am a pretty elite defenseman. And, with that, there was high pressure, high expectations, and it was lots of fun. And, I wish we could have made it a little bit further in the playoffs, but like you said, we'll get into Tampa in a bit. They're a bit of a beast. So
yeah,
it's tough.
They are a beast. But Weegsy, let's talk about you playing your offside. It was something that I did a little bit throughout my career, but you seem to embrace it. And is it almost fair to say you enjoy it better than playing on the right side on your normal side?
Yeah. I mean, I like the offside. There's definitely some times where it kind of handcuffs you a little bit on my blind side, on my backhand in the D zone. There's been times where making plays on my backhand are a little bit tough, but you just kind of adapt to it. I think in the offensive zone, you can walk the wall a little bit better. I can see the ice a little bit better. Skating up the ice, I can see the whole zone and everything like that. But I really didn't have a choice but to adapt to it, or I wasn't really going to be playing. So it's just one of those things that if you want to be playing, you got to adapt. And it's been fun. I mean, I like playing the right hand side too. It's honestly wherever they throw me in that night, I'll just adjust and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a feather in your cap, buddy. You're good on both sides, but when you play that offside, it's impressive because, like you said, there's so many blind spots when you get the puck inside your own blue line and stuff like that. But Weegsy, let's talk about that game one, man, because for us, we came on the next day after that game, and I said it was the best hockey game I've seen since the 2019 final between the Bruins and Blues. I think you guys set the whole tone for your series, obviously, Carolina's series with Nashville. But what was it like playing in that barn that night?
Yeah, first of all, Uppy and even, Jimmy, you guys have all played in Florida and have seen how much it's kind of been a downer to play in there some nights. And it's kind of tough to get going. But there was so much hype before that series that there was so much buzz around the city this year, just based on the season that we've had. Once you establish a little bit of that winning culture, I think, a lot more fans like to come out and enjoy the good hockey. But there was a lot of media attention going in the Battle of South Florida and everything like that. And we put on a show. It was an exciting series. I had the jitters before every game because it was going to be a battle. You never know what was going to happen. And scrums everywhere, fights. I mean, you had almost everything going. There was goals everywhere, power plays, hits. It was full of everything. And, to be a part of that was awesome. And it's too bad that they got the upper hand at the end of the day because, hopefully we see them down the road again in another playoff series because I think it brought up a lot of attention to South Florida hockey, and it's been we've done well marketing it.
Yeah, sorry, Weegsy. Hazy, let me jump in on that, just touching on fan base and playoffs and hypes. My first year in Florida, we ended up making it to Game 7 at home against the New Jersey Devils. In double OT, we lose. The crowd was insane. The people walking around Los Olas, walking down to the beach on a day off, trying to get some sunshine. Everyone talked hockey. And it's, like you said, it could be a downer. It could get sleepy. Although you get the nice weather and all those retirement old folks from Canada coming down, those are sometimes the fans that fill the building. But it has a heartbeat. It has a heartbeat when the playoffs begin, and you guys, your superstars picked it up this year, and it brought back memories of man, that BBT Center can really get rocking when they get behind you guys. So, shout out to the fans that actually fucking made that feel real for you guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. The fans are here. I mean, it's just a matter of time that. They're here to stay, and we just got to keep winning and keep making it to the playoffs. Because I mean, it was such a vibe down here, and it was buzz, and they had banners everywhere. And like you said, there was fans all over Los Olas, and you start to go out and people recognize you. That's so much fun. So credit to the fans. I mean, we just got to keep playing well, and it'll be here for a while.
Uppy touched on how the superstars in your team stepped up. And I don't think people understand how good Huberdeau is just because of the market where Florida is. Can you touch on the impact he has on this team? And I heard he's finally upgraded that red Mustang that he has.
Yeah, he's got a few different cars now. He has no issue spending his money. So he's got a nice blue Lamborghini parked out front, and with the top down and the hair going, sunglasses on. He's Showtime for sure. But he's a hell of a player. I mean, the passes that he can make, the vision that he has, And you know, he's got a pretty lethal shot too, and he can bury the puck. He can find his breakaways. He'll make the moves, and he's a big leader on the team. He's a big part of the team, obviously. I mean, him and Barkey are 1-2 guys. And you know, he really showed his emotions in playoffs. There was time in the dressing room where he really spoke up and took over the room. And you know, he's been there. I'm pretty sure he's been there the longest. So you know, it is almost his team, and he brings it every single year, every game. He's a great friend of mine, and you know, he's just a hell of a player. And I wish, you know, the league could see more of him, because he's one hell of a player, and he's exciting to watch.
Weegsy, baby, after you guys lost game 1, and obviously with the Sam Bennett hit, you know, when I saw the hit in real time, I thought, whatever. This game's been so physical. I thought, if anything, maybe they could have kicked him out of game 1. When they suspended him for game 2, I had a hard time with that. I didn't think he should have been suspended. What was said in the dressing room between game 1 and 2 when you found out Sam was gone? Did you try to rally behind it? Because it was a big blow for you guys, and it could have cost you the series, really.
Yeah, I mean, the way that he was playing at such a high level that we needed him for sure. It was, you know, when I looked at the hit as well, you know, it could have gone either way. We didn't really know what George was going to do, but obviously when you get the hearing call, then it's for sure a game, I guess. But, you know, Q came in the room and he said that you never let a man down. You pick him up when a guy's down. And we did really rally behind it. Everything was so positive during the playoffs, even when we were down. There was never any negativity. Q was really good at handling that. Would we have liked to have had him game 2 for sure? But, you know, emotions are high and stuff like that happens. He plays hard. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And, you know, I hope that he continues to play that physical hockey, because at the same time, I think that brings the best out of him. So hopefully he stays and they can get a deal done, because he's obviously a great player and a great addition. And, you know, we would have loved to have had him game 2 for sure.
Tough. He set the mark for your guys' for engagement. I thought the way you guys,
too.
Yeah, great duster. I thought the way you guys played the last, you know, 10, 15 games, you guys set the tone for what you knew was going to be a tough battle in the playoffs, no matter who you got. And I thought that was led by Bennett's like intensity. I thought that was such a great pickup.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player as well, and that intensity goes a long way, especially in playoffs. And he does have a hell of a greasy duster, so hopefully that greasy duster can stay.
Does he like his beers?
Fucking greasy duster.
Does he like his beers? A guy with a duster like that's got to be cracking some cold ones after.
He has no issues sucking down a few pints for sure.
Weegsy, Carolina is struggling to score against Tampa, whereas when you guys played them, it was a whole different story. What was the key to get the offense going here? Because Carolina needs to figure something out here.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of that series too. They're having a bit of a difficult time, but for us, it was, you know, you just grinding that decor down, making it hard on them. But I mean, Vasilevsky, like he's a different breed in that he's an unbelievable goalie. And it was more just, you know, every goal that we scored, it was almost like someone was in his eyes, or it was a greasy goal, or you know, one maybe or two what might have trickled by him with a nice shot or whatnot. But it was making it tough. It was always making it tough on the decor, making them defend, because, you know, they have such a fast transition game. And, you know, once they get on the power play, it's almost tough to stop them. So just making it hard in the D zone, making them defend, and you'll find your chances. But when you get your chances, you're going to have to bury them, because it might be a long night for sure.
Weegsy, from the first time I met you, which I could maybe tell that story, but the point is I knew you were a playoff guy. But you want me to tell the story when I first met Weegsy?
Yeah.
So I just get sent down to San Antonio, and I see Weegsy's got good skill, right? I see him in training camp. He's got good style. He's a younger kid, obviously. And we're taking a piss in San Antonio, and he's there. There's a stall between us, and then there's me. And Weegsy just like takes a piss and starts shaking his cock. He just looks down. He's like, I got to stop jerking off so much, man.
It's been a long camp, man.
I'm like, I know that. I'm like, sharing that hotel room, and it's tough, eh? You got to go to jerk off in the bathroom when your roomie's in there. And I'm like, it's Weegar, right? He's like, yeah. And then from that moment on, Weegsy, the rest is history. But I knew,
that's hilarious.
I knew as a young kid that you had swag and confidence that you would eventually get to the NHL. My question to you is, what was the hardest thing come playoff time? It's your first playoff series. It was a six-game hard-fought series. Looking back a week later, even though you've been hung titty the whole time, what was the most thing that was like, holy fuck, it's that much different than NHL playoff?
I think it was just the level of intensity and pace out there for me. We played Tampa Bay 2 games before the playoffs started, and my confidence was so high. We beat them twice in that game. And I just was like, if this is what it's gonna be like, then this is gonna be no problem. But game 1 came out, and it was like, wow, like you got Point and Kucherov and Palat line I'm going up against, and honestly, it was almost a wake up call for me, and I'm happy I went through it, because now I can go into the playoffs next year, really knowing what to expect. And I wish I would have had a better playoff for myself. And I even told this to Q at the end of the year. It would have been nice to have Eki by my side just to calm me down a little bit. I know the pressure was high and the expectations were high, but having a guy like him beside me would have really calmed me down, and maybe would have taken a bit of the pressure off me, and maybe a little bit better. But it was just the pace and the intensity that was just so much. It was just so much more than those 2 games that ended the season. So I'd go with that.
I'll be real quick. How did you handle, and this is just me asking you from when I played my first playoff week, the emotions, the ups and downs. I didn't handle it very well. Like, if we were winning, I thought we were going to win the Stanley Cup. If we got scored on, I'm like, our season's over. How did you handle the peaks and valleys of being a young defenseman and getting the taste of it? Because honestly, my first playoff with Tampa, I wasn't very good at that.
Yeah, for me, I don't know if I handled it as well as I wanted to as either. It's so crazy and everything happened so fast. But Q's such an experienced coach that it was always stay calm, stay in it, be in the moment. Never let things get too out of hand. And I thought we did I thought we had a great series against them. And if we could have squeezed maybe a game out at home in the first 2 games, and I thought maybe it would have went to game 7, and then who knows what would have happened from there. But the emotions are high, and they're very tough to control. And I think having Q as a coach back there to calm me down really helps. So I thank you for that one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Weeks. One thing, I'm listening to you speak, and I remember vividly like what it's like to get into playoffs. And one piece of advice is just as a younger guy is to realize within your group, because you'll be there for a while, realize just how hard it was to get to where you were to make the playoffs. And yes, us sitting around the table, like we had our long careers, and all of a sudden you look back and you're like, every time you go in the playoffs and we never won, so we would get bounced. You're like, okay, next year, you're like, we'll wait to get back there. It's so hard to get in there. So hard. And then once you do, that's when you need to like you said, it goes by so fast. A 7-game series happens like that because you don't talk to your friends. You're not talking to like your family a lot. You're like so engaged in team meetings, food, like the meals before the game, talking with your line mates, everything, that it goes by so fast. Now, your experience, you can never change like that experience of your first playoff run, and you'll always have that. But what you share with your teammates is that battle to get there. And then once you're there, like realizing how to get to the next level together, because it's so hard to get in the dance. And once you're in there, then you work. But always just remember the work that you need to put, the work all year is put in, so you just have that chance to compete in playoff hockey. It's nothing like it, like you just experienced it. And I'm glad you got to experience it in Florida this year and not say fucking Montreal or Toronto, because that's a whole other shit show. Yeah. But man, it was just playoff hockey is nothing like it. We all, when we think of it, our fucking arms on our hair stand up. It's the best time of year to play hockey. It's everyone watching, and I don't know. That was my 2 piece of advice.
Don't take it for granted at all.
Totally, it's so awesome. It's so awesome.
Wiggsy, how was it with the atmosphere in the locker room when you guys decide to go lean on Spencer Knight? You guys obviously got a little bit of a preview of him, of how good he can be. But like, what was the team's like morale and confidence when you got to put a young goalie into a big game like that?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really sure, where Q was going to go with it. Obviously, it could have went either way. There was lots of talk for every goalie in the room. But I think, we kind of had nothing to lose at that point. And Spencer showed that he could play, when it was in the regular season. And he's going to be a hell of a goalie. And, I think the attitude was the same, if it was any other goalie that would have went net. We're going to do our best to keep pucks out of there. And but everything, you know, I think we tried to make it as loose and you know, as calming as we could for him. He's got a demeanor that's already super calm, and it's almost so mature already that, you know, he seemed like it was totally fine already. So just kept it light for him, kept it positive, and we just wanted to put in a good battle for him. You know, that one game that he played, he was unbelievable. Even the second game that he played, you know, he's, like I said, he's going to be an amazing goalie, and Florida is very, very lucky to have him. So looking forward to playing with him down the road. He's going to be really good for us, and hopefully he can keep that compete level up.
He's going to bail you out a few times, isn't he?
Yeah.
Couple pizzas.
Couple taps on the asses. Thank you very much. Here's a lunch or something like that.
Here's a lunch.
He's a pretty good looking kid. Like, is he single? What's his story? Is he
No,
a good,
so
like all the
young.
BC guys I know are just fucking, they're animals.
Yeah, you know, he's just, I think he's got a girlfriend. He does have a little bit of a studly look.
He's
to
got
him,
kind
for
of that
sure.
look to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda got
and
that
he's
look.
a goalie. They're always
that
like
look.
super, you know, like they got that attitude and that demeanor to them where they have that little swag. But I think he's all wifed up, and you know, he's probably going to be settling down in Florida like the rest of us, and except for you, Uppy.
I was never settled. Never settled till you died.
Are you wifed up right now?
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
I'm all
Are you
wifed
married
up.
or just living with her?
No. This is the first year, you know, COVID has put us in the same house together. So it's
I'm sure
been
she's
fun.
a sweetheart.
How's
she's all
how's
good.
that been living with her? Because I'm going to ask you for advice, because I've had a girlfriend that I've had a hard time with. And how was it living with the girl? I'm asking as your old teammate, Obi. How was it living with a girl for the first time and playing in the NHL? Because dude, I never did that.
You know, I mean,
Was it nice to
I
have her
can't
there?
I can't really say anything bad. I mean, I had a career year, so I'm a little superstitious like that. So now she's got to
good
be
to go.
around forever. Yeah, but it's been good. She does a lot for me, and she keeps everything pretty loose. And if I want to go have some beers with the boys, she has no issue with it or whatnot. So we have a good chemistry, and it's been fun. We got a nice little condo here, and you know, just hanging out. It was just really us two. We couldn't really see anybody anyway at the beginning of the year with the COVID shit. So
listen, I can't wait to meet her, because I got a couple stories I'd like to tell her. Right? You'd be okay with that, hey Weeksy, baby?
Yeah.
Hey Weeksy?
She'd love to hear those ones.
I feel you. I had a career year with my girlfriend too in Phoenix, you know. And then I signed my ticket and I went to Florida, and I had to.
And you tried to keep the
I
relationship
tried
going,
to balance it, and it was just it was
You
hard.
couldn't help yourself.
Hey, are you living down in where are you living? Fort Lauderdale, like Los
I'm in
Olas?
Fort Lauderdale. Just off Los Olas, close to the guys. So
Do you go grab a little brekkie at Obi House ever?
yeah, I think you established all those places with the
You're
Obi
damn
House
right I
and,
did.
and Cafe Europa. And those places
yeah.
are still staples and traditions for us.
Me and Hubie were the only two that would drive back for pregame meal. Like we obviously, when your owner Vincent Viola bought the team, he went full spectrum meals, everything for the guys after pregame skate, which we never had before. And then me and Hubie were like, let's get down to Europa, sit on the patio.
Yeah, I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have Europa. I love
Europa
that
is
place.
shout out to, I think it was Marcus there.
Hopefully they give us a free meal now that we shutted them out, because they
Oh,
haven't given us
yeah.
a free meal.
Really?
But no,
I have something to say about that.
Did you get free meals there?
I was getting thrown a bone every now and then.
Yeah, here and there. Here and
There
there
you
at the
go.
up dog. That was always nice.
But good. And then where the boys go have pints? American Social?
Yeah, American Social. There's a Mexican place, El Camino, that's on Los Olas, and then they just built this big, huge outdoor bar called the Wharf. So we go out there, but like I said, the only time we could really start going out was when the year was done. So other than that, we just all kind of went into Cafe Europa and had our meals. But now that that's done, we can go out and see some sunlight.
Scoopsy, remember Tuesday nights at Rocco's Tacos? We'd fucking go in there for grab a couple babes, bring them back for DJ Upshaw back at the house.
There was nothing better going solo. When I had a girlfriend, and then I went single, and so I got to South Florida, and going to dinner was Me, the up dog, and usually 6 different girls. So my human Tinder app, I used to call them.
Yeah, a couple margaritas and you're all set.
Hey, Weeksy, baby, how's the golf game, fella? Because back in San Antonio on the day, it was a little slashy. Has it gotten any
tough,
better?
Eh?
Have you been playing? Have you been playing?
It's a hit and a miss. I actually, the funniest story is Jans takes me out to the Grove, and I was so brutal. It was like almost embarrassing, and I was like, Jans, like, I might not ever be able to come back out here. Like, I don't know why we do that. Like, I don't know. Like, I hate when the caddies go and look for my balls. Like, I'm just embarrassed, and I got to tip him at the end. I almost feel like I owe him extra because it was so bad. And then the next time he's like, no, you're coming out. So the next time he takes me out, I'm pretty sure I shot a 77. Like, I've never done this in my life. Like, it was insane. Like, I'll never do it again. But I was like, at least, I shot it. 77 at the Grove, and now they can all think of me as like a decent player. And I left there feeling pretty happy.
That's a fucking good score.
Yeah, the Grove is a nice track too. I was up there a couple months ago for a cigar smoking, tequila drinking. Yeah, we had it gambling. Yeah,
Weeksy,
awesome.
do you remember when we took my dad golfing in TPC San Antonio where they have that tournament?
Pitter golf.
Steeler one. Do you remember my dad couldn't get on a fucking bunker on the par
bunker?
3?
Yeah, on the bunker. Those bunkers were deep, though.
Not just his golf ball. He couldn't get out.
No, like the bunkers were super deep. It was me, my dad, and Weeksy playing. And my dad, it's a tough course. Like even Weeksy, it's a tough course. And I slashed it back then. We're all slashing it. And my dad's on the par 3 with the bunker in the middle of the green, but he's in the front side bunker. And he's like whack fucking out there, and he can hardly get out there. And Weeksy's on the grass rolling around. My dad's like, "Get me out of this fucking thing here, would you?"
How's your dad doing? He's a fucking beauty. I miss that
guy. He's good, man.
Yeah,
he loves you, Weeksy. He's proud of you. He's back in fucking Port Hope, locked down. He can finally play golf. So,
yeah, what a joke back home it is, eh?
It's a joke, buddy. Weeksy, I got to tell the story before we let you go here. First of all, how about all the nights we'd go to Austin after the games in San Antonio? Because San Antonio sucked.
I've been there.
It was tough. That one ride. When we would stay the extra night in Austin, and we drove back, and I'm just like, holy fuck, we got to practice now. And I know exactly what was gonna happen. We got Tom Rowe and Scotty Allen just waiting, licking their chops for me. Like it was like a video session. You're just laughing, and I'm just like, just please snap the puck on the tape. Like this is all you got to do is just put the pucks on the tape. And there I go. I'm out there like looking like an absolute idiot. Yeah. It was just so classic. And I'm glad I've learned a lot.
We were supposed to come back on Sundays, and I'm like, no, Weeksy, we're staying one more day. I'll drive us back. So we leave Austin, which is like an hour. Monday morning at 8 o'clock, we jump in my car and drive back. And me and Weeksy, he'd sleep the whole way, and then he'd get out and be and the coaches, poor Weeksy, they were all over him all year, right? So they knew like they just keep an eye on him the whole fucking time. But and then how about in Charlotte when we scooped the 2 girls in Charlotte? And we got him in the elevator, and then you're like, oh fuck, I don't have a room key. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a fucking room key?
Oh yeah, I got dusted for that one.
Dusted.
That was tough.
We're in Charlotte, and for whatever reason, you had to go up to get to the lobby, one of those hotels, right? So I'm like, all right, Weeksy, fuck it, just get out quick and get a key. It wasn't even that late. It was like 11:30.
No, we made it for curfew.
We made it for curfew. We made it for curfew. Doors open. He goes out. I'm in the Tom Rowe and the fucking assistant coach right there. Yeah. He comes back. I just saw T-Rex. Next day, I got a call from your boy Dale Talon being like, this guy's taking Weegar out. It was a shit show. Remember, Weeks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had 8 o'clock curfew for the rest of the year.
Oh, man.
And then the last one that when I think of you, I laugh, is in Toronto. I get called up to go play with you guys in Buffalo, right? So I had my own room. I had my own room in Toronto. And I'm like, Weeksy, baby, I'm going to leave you my own room. You can go out tonight because the boys were going. Like, everything was lined up for after the game in Toronto playing the American League team. Yeah. But I had to go to Buffalo play with you guys. Yeah. Weeksy, have my room. The club's lined up. Go have a night. Just don't be fucking late for the bus tomorrow, right? Yeah, well, I was 100% won't be late for the bus. Next morning, I wake up. I got fucking like 40 missed texts and fucking calls me like, where's Weegar? I'm like, I don't fucking know where he is. So then tell the rest of the story, Weeksy.
I end up peeling my eyes open, getting Greg Zanin calling me. I'm like, okay, like I rinse my face, throw some water on, brush my teeth, get on the bus. We're headed to go pick up our gear at the rink. And I'm like and just before we get off, I'm like, Zan's like, you got to go in front of me. I know T-Rex is gonna say something to me when we get off. Just be there when he does. So we're going off the bus, and he goes, Zans, make sure Weeks pays $100 fine. And I in my head, I'm like thinking as a good guy, like I go, make it 200. Absolutely snaps, gets off the bus. He's like, are you still fucking drunk? I'm like, I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm like, get my bag. We bust to Adirondack, and it was when we got there, I had a call from Dale Talon, like, you're a fucking 7th rounder. You don't think I can replace you? Like, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like in tears. 2 minutes later, I get a text. You're on a nice plane ticket beside the piss. You're on the way to Cincinnati and the coast. I'm like, wow, that was a wake up call for me. So
I come back from the fucking road trip. My boy Weegsy's in the coast. I'm like, what the fuck happened here? And then I march into Tom Rowe's room, and I'm like, hey, you sent Weegsy down, huh? He's like, yeah, well, this is what happened. I said, well, like, you guys have been chirping me all year. Is it just coincidence that I'm gone for one fucking road trip and next thing you know, the kid's in the fucking coast? Like, what happened here? Oh, he's just going down for a week or two, which you did. But I remember texting you being like, oh, I love you.
That makes him stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me. It absolutely did. I actually learned my lesson, and actually, Cincinnati wasn't a bad spot. We had a decent time down there too.
That's fucking
really learned a lesson.
I like that.
Hey, Weegsy, he can have a good time anywhere. Hey, Weegsy, baby.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Anyways, buddy, we appreciate you. Great year, man. What's your plans now? You're going to be in Florida for a bit? You going back to Ottawa at all? Or what are your plans?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a rush I am to get back there, but I mean, I got family and the girl back in Ottawa now waiting to see me. So I always go back there and train. There's a good group there, and then be back out in Florida before you know it for the year to start again. It's going to be a quick turnaround this year. So looking forward to it. You know how much I love to train. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, we're proud of you. This year, I'll come see you. Plus, you guys will be coming out to California, so we'll get you in the studio when you come play the Ducks and Kings. But enjoy the time off, Weegsy. You deserve it, fella.
Absolutely, boys. I appreciate it. You guys are doing great, and I'll be listening a lot.
Thanks, Weegsy, baby.
Thanks for coming on, fella.
Thanks,
see you, bud.
Weeks.
See you, boys.
Good life up, dog. You got a shirt on. I've got the shirt, shorts, socks. You got the socks on. We're going to Vegas this weekend. I'm packing a bunch of Good Life shit. I got whites, blacks, baby blues, Henleys, you name it. I'm packing it.
You're
baby.
packing some domes, I hope.
Yeah, so am I. Not that, obviously that, but I have a new order in the mail with our promo code Curfew20, baby. And I cannot wait. I got a little baby blue coming out.
I got a baby blue coming.
I'm
going to
let the sun shine on the baby blue, new fresh tarp from Good Life. We'll be buzzing around. I hope to be playing in the sports book, throwing it around on the card tables. Meeting fans of Missin Curfew in Vegas this weekend with you two boys. So, Scoopsy, what are you wearing this
weekend? What are you packing, Scoopsy?
Boys, this is perfect timing that we're going to Vegas because I just got the brand new tailored swimsuit in gray, and I can't wait to rock it at one of those pool parties. And you know what? They got a ton of new sun blended T-shirts, or I think they call them the tri-blend scallop V's. I got a couple of those coming. So you know what? I'm going to be looking fresh when I'm sitting out in Vegas by the pool.
Yeah, you are.
Can't wait, baby. Good Life. We'll be rocking you in Vegas this weekend.
So visit GoodLifeClothing.com. Missin Curfew's promo code is Curfew20. We thank you for your support. Good Life Clothing, baby.
Curfew20. Updog, Broadway. Our good friends at DraftKings, obviously, our top titty every week. We're figuring out as we go. But Updog, we got a guy who knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to fantasy hockey.
We don't just have a guy here, fellas. We got a world champion.
Fucking champion, baby.
Our first world champion. Well, I mean, we've had Getzlaf on. He's a world champion. We've had Teemu Selanne, I'm sure, has won a championship in his day or two.
He has.
But here we are talking about DraftKings. DraftKings, our big sponsor. So we all tune into DraftKings. And Fantasy Hockey World Championship took place, boys, Saturday, May 1st. As 40 of the top NHL DraftKings Sportsbook players competed for $600,000 total prize pool. the winner, who we got here today, took home 150,000 of that top prize. That is some cheddar, man.
I'll take fucking that.
That's
That's
a
some
nice
cheddar. I can't wait to
right
hear.
there.
I can't wait to hear what he spent it on.
Fuck.
And we'll also earn a seat at the DraftKings 2021-2022 Tournament of Champions. So, with my pleasure, all the way from Rhode Island, we got some boys, Matty Oya and Brian Berard, who moonsock it. We have Mr. Josh Slepkow. Thanks for having us. You're on Missin Curfew with the boys. Josh, how you doing today, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to it.
Of course, man. And we want to dive into this impressive, unique lineup you set for this championship. Can you briefly just describe how you got there and then what that tournament was like for our listeners?
Yeah. So as far as you had to win your way into the World Championship. So there are a lot of contests on DraftKings that you can, if you have the money, you can buy in. But for most of their World Championships, for the major sports, it doesn't matter if you have $1 billion, you have to win your way to get in. So in this particular one, the way I won in, I don't remember the lineup that got me in. I know I had a San Jose late that got me there, but I was a $15 qualifier. And I guess I beat out 16,000 people to get into the World Championship, which was then down to 40 people.
And 40 people is the World Championship, right?
Yes, correct.
And then, man, I'm looking at your lineup here, and you are, for our New York Islander fans out there, you went New York Islander heavy.
Yeah.
3 of these guys had epic performances. You had Nelson, Bolivier, Josh Bailey. Break down how you kind of created this lineup and against either your rivals or how that all went. Were you watching these games like right down to the wire? I'm sure you were.
Yes. So, and I'm a Bruins fan. So, blood is thicker than water. And even though all these guys got me to the World Championship, I am rooting against them now.
Woo!
So, the way this World Championship was a little bit unique to other World Championships. They don't have something that's called late swap, which is, I don't know if you're not familiar, it means that after the initial games, the 7:00 games have started, you cannot see anyone else's lineups. No one can see yours. And you have the option to switch around your players depending on how the event was unfolding. So the New York Islanders, the second line was my top overall play. And when I say top overall play, I don't mean that I thought they were going to score the most points. I just meant that given ownership and the salary that I had to spend on them on DraftKings, they were just the where I wanted to start building my lineup. And what I really liked about them, in addition to what got me onto them, was the optionality I had with late swap. So I figured that if I would know midway through towards the end of the first set of games, that if I had picked a nice team, then I could go a little bit more conservative with the rest of my lineup. And if that lineup there, the second line had bombed, then I could go very much against the grain with the rest of the games, trying to catch up what I had lost.
That's intense.
When you're picking your team, like, do you focus on the high end guys or like the cheaper value guys? And are you, like you just mentioned, like you loaded up on one line? Is that usually your strategy, like on daily fantasy when you're playing, like, or do you want to just kind of spread the ballpark around?
So in it, the kind of the shitty answer you don't want to get is like, it depends, but I'll try to explain. So if you're trying to win a top heavy tournament, which for me in this, I didn't care if I came in, second would have been nice money, but I needed to win. I wasn't, and then other types of contests where you're just trying to beat half the people to make money, then you go for a more conservative, you just pick all of the best plays. But in lineups where there's more money to first, and so people tend to do what's called stacking, which is a way to correlate the players. So in other words, if I don't necessarily, let's say I liked one of the players on New York Islanders too, well, I wouldn't just take that one. I would take that player plus one or two of his line mates, because then, as you guys all know, in hockey, when it's very rare that there's a goal that doesn't have an assist. so that one person scores. The people on there's a very good chance that the line mates on the ice with him are also scoring at the same time. So, and that's what happened with that lineup. One person scored, and I got a full line assist. So I had a goal plus for those 3 players. So,
that's smart. That makes sense now. That makes sense to me now.
Yeah.
So if you like a guy, you take his whole line basically too.
Yeah, that's a
where
stack
his line
contest.
mates will be chirping. Yeah.
Like our top titty, Josh, is a stack contest, right? It's like all the money's up front. So you basically want to hammer like the 1D on the power play with the 3 or 2 guys and just let them fucking rock.
That's smart.
So how do I get into the top titty?
Oh, we'll send you the link now that now that you're a guest on our podcast. It's Top Titties. Just every Friday afternoon we golf, me and Obi. So we every Friday, like as we get to the back 9, we have a tequila soda. We start hammering in our lineups, checking the injury report. And now I guess we got to text you because you're our DraftKings insider now. So
yeah, definitely. So the stacking, it's generally done. People like to do it when there's power play correlation, because you can imagine not only are you on the ice together on 5-on-5, but if you can have the same group of players on the ice for power play, so that adds to when a stack can be a little bit more beneficial. And then so with the top players, for example, I had McDavid on my lineup. You don't really need to stack him because a guy like McDavid can, he's live to get a hat trick any night.
Yeah, single-handedly he can do it. Yeah,
right. It's not necessarily. It's not likely. Well, not that it's unlikely, but it's not often that it's his line mates that are doing all the scoring. But what you could see in a line like New York Islanders 2, a little bit more hard to pinpoint where, if you think that line's going to do well, a little bit more hard to pinpoint where do we think that goal is going to come from.
Josh, DraftKings. So we've been working with DraftKings for the better part of of our tenure with this podcast, and they're great. And DraftKings is pouring a ton of money and a ton of stuff into their Champions Series. What can you tell us on the opportunity there for a guy like yourself? Tons of money up for grabs. I mean, they're trying to make millionaires out of all the players worldwide, and it sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah, and Josh, can you tell us how to qualify for this tournament as well?
Sure, definitely. So this is the second year they've done it. Last year there were 40 entrants, and it was at the Super Bowl, and it was a winner take all $1 million to first. And they did it for their NFL showdown slates, which are most DraftKings are contests are for over a whole slate, which means there are multiple games. But for Showdown, which is kind of a up and coming product that I particularly like, it's just for one particular game. So obviously for the Super Bowl, there's only one game. It has to be just for that one game. And so last year was 40 players, and it was winner take all. This year, in my discussions with DraftKings, I don't think they're going to go to winner take all. They might have a little bit more of a flatter takeout. You can imagine how crushing that would be to come in second out of 40 or 100 people and get zero. But the DraftKings has been, promoting this. You see commercials for it. So I'm incredibly excited to go. Last year it was at the Super Bowl. I don't know if it will be at the Super Bowl this year, but they haven't announced the location. But wherever it's going to go, I know it's going to be great. I've gone to a lot of DraftKings events, and they're all phenomenal. So, and I don't get anything for saying that. I'm not a DraftKings shill. I know they do it right, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And to answer your question, how to qualify. So there are going to be 100 qualifiers, and I don't know all the ways. I know there's some ways you can get through sports books, but unfortunately sports betting is not legal yet in Rhode Island. So I'm not on that scene, but for DraftKings contests, which I am devote pretty much all my time to, you can win one of their millionaire makers, which they have them every week in NFL. They have them for all of the golf majors. They have them a couple times a year for basketball in MLB, or you can win one of the the core sports championships, like I won for hockey. Then the basketball one had occurred a weekend ago. There will be a baseball world champion, and there will be a football world champion. So those are the people who are going to get there, plus some other ways that you can win in by a sports book. But I'm sure if sports betting is legal in your state, go and check that out.
Yeah, DraftKings, they're minting up 100 new millionaires in 2021. That's big time. A lot of opportunity for anyone. I mean, and Josh, you probably tell us, like, some days it could be some random kid or a random girl just sitting there on her computer wanting to put in her favorite lineup, and all of a sudden, like, you put that right lineup in and boom, you're a millionaire. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome that that's where we are with our fantasy worlds and gambling worlds. That's where she's going.
Yeah, it's funny. There are so many players out there who devote a lot of time and energy to it, like me, and then very frequently you look up who won the Millionaire Maker one week, and it's some person that put one lineup in, and where I'm putting in 150, and they put in one lineup and they binked and they win. So I mean, it's great. Keeps the it keeps the pool going, and it keeps everyone's interest alive. So
now for DraftKings decide. Oh, sorry, Uppy. I was going to say,
go for it.
Decide what sport it's going to be. Like, because you said you won in hockey. Are you playing every other sport, or is like that one decision for the $1 million at the end there? How's that being determined?
Oh, so the one for the winner of the Tournament of Champions, that will be a NFL showdown because it coincides with the Super Bowl. So, that's the only way it determines. Obviously, it doesn't. I mean, that's probably one of my better sports, so I'm fine with that. But you can see it might not be as fair to some people if they got in through, NBA and then they have to do NFL. But it's. I don't know. I don't think anyone's complaining at that point once they're at the Tournament of Champions.
So now the golden question, Josh, what did you do with that 150K? Did you sink it right back into some lineups, or did you go buy yourself and the old lady, so nice car, nice steak dinner, maybe a boat? I don't know. I can think of what I'd do with 150K.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know that it was not the most money I've won on DraftKings, but it was definitely the most significant in terms of the championship, because I was really excited about winning that. And they sent me this little kind of, cheesy trophy, but to me, it's like, cool. I like carry it around. And like people walk by, I'm like, oh, you asked me about this to some random stranger. So, but so let's see that night. So these finals are usually live, and due to COVID, live meaning like, any other year, let's see, the last year the hockey one was in Nashville. The year before that, it was in Montreal. These live finals are in nice destinations like Miami, San Diego, Vegas, things like that. And due to COVID, they had canceled the live finals. So I had this one just at my house, but I wanted to, because, these are kind of significant events and you don't get to them that often. So I was trying to make the most of it. So I went and just for the event, I went and bought a very nice bottle of tequila, and my buddies and we drank that whole thing while we were sweating out the lineup. And then once I won, I had a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle that I had been saving for a special occasion. So we cracked that open at the end. So, and usually you shouldn't be blacked out when you're cracking open Pappy Van Winkle, but that's just the way.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Oh, we've done worse things.
My wife found out that I won as I was, it was like crouched around the toilet.
As the strippers were showing up.
Yeah.
Your wife figured out you won when the strippers just knocked on the door and all of a sudden. We're looking for Poppy.
Hey, Josh, I got to ask you about Newport, Rhode Island. Our boy Brian Berard and Maddie Oya Fernandez tell me that this is the spot in the summer, Newport, Rhode Island. Is it worth the Missin Curfew boys to come out there this summer to Newport?
100%.
All right, cool. Let's see. I got married there. That's kind of irrelevant. But it is the place to go in the summer. It's got really much everything that you want. If you got great bar scene, phenomenal food, beaches, sailing, sightseeing, whatever you want to do. I mean, the bar scene and the food is what you're there for. Let's be honest, right?
Awesome.
But I don't know where you guys are from, but in New England, I would say this is like the best destination in New England in the summer. but you're going to want to come in the summer. I mean, in the winters it's nice, but you're not going to get that the same vibe. But if you guys come, I'm happy to meet there, show you around, buy you a drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come in August for my boy Berard and Matty Fernandez. So I'll let you know. We'll meet up and get her going.
I mean, even if you want some recommendations of good spots, like I can text you or email a whole list, because I'm about 20 minutes away and I know it very well. So
beautiful. Awesome. Well, congratulations, buddy, and thank you for the stacked lineup, because I'm gonna use that come top titty time.
Okay.
So thank you for the inside scoop. We appreciate it, buddy.
And then, jump on our podcast and listen to Jimmy Scoops give his breakdown of our top titty and stuff moving forward. Maybe you get a couple scoops out of our boy Jimmy Hayes there.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Updog Broadway, unbelievable show. Rick Rowley, you fucking beauty, thank you. MacKenzie Weegar, Weegsy baby, and the Fantasy Hockey World Champ, Josh Slepkow. Thanks for the tips on the top titty, the fantasy DraftKings stuff. Vegas, baby, here we come. Friday.
Yeah, we're coming in hot, boys.
T-Mobile
coming in hot is right.
Pre-game show. We will be there. If you're out there, come see us. Come have a drink with us. Hazy's flying in. What time you land, Hazy?
9:55, boys, and Hazy's off the wagon, so he's ready to rock.
Fuck, look out, Vegas.
We got the bird fired up. The Jets are fucking steaming.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, we're going to be there, and we're going to have a little flair, aren't we?
So if you're in Vegas, come check us out before the game, and then we'll have something going on Saturday. We're just not sure quite yet. We'll let you know. But boys, great show. Weegsy, Rick Rowley, thank you. Updog Broadway. I'll see you in Vegas, baby.
Till next week.
See you, boys.
Well, I got me a gal in Pekin. She's a good